live here on Plus One EXP's Roll for Content channel. My name is Tony Vicenda. I'm Chief Alchemist here at Plus One EXP, which is a weird little brand that multi-classes in tabletop game design, beard, and skincare alchemy, and the Bardic College of Content Creation. Our hope and desire is to help amazing designers find great players who love their games and help amazing players find great designers whose games they can love. We do that in a lot of different ways, but hands down, my favorite way to do it is to sit down with the creators of those games and play them with them running them. Today is no different. We are sitting down with John Hambone McGuire playing the most recent / upcoming installation in their 3-2-1 RPG collection, PointNemo. John, tell people who you are, what you do, where they can find you online, but also tell us a little bit about PointNemo.
Very cool. So I am John McGuire. I am the co-host and producer of the Vintage RPG podcast. I'm also the co-writer and co-creator of 3-2-1 Action, the cinematic storytelling RPG system. So PointNemo is our second adventure. You are going to be shipwrecked on an island as a documentary film crew. Island's not supposed to be there. Wackiness is about to ensue. This is going to be PG-13, folks. There is going to be some 80s style action and maybe a little bit of cussing. You can find me online at John McGuire RPG on Twitter and on Instagram.
Awesome. And let's go ahead and meet our other players. First up, we've got one of my top 26 favorite Alex Murrays. That's our Alex Murray. Alex, tell people who you are, what you do, where they can find you online.
What's up? My name is Alex. I'm an actor, comedian, podcaster based in Brooklyn, New York. You should check out all of the shows on my podcast network, the Missing Sock Network. We're awesome and hilarious and fun. What else was I supposed to talk about?
Where they can find you online? I don't know. You got an app?
Yeah. At our Alex Murray on all this stuff. I'm excited to be here. I'm just pumped. I think the last stream I actually did with this crew was the first one. So it's been a minute. I'm glad to be back in the old saddle for shenanigans.
Well, we've missed you, but we've got you back again. Speaking of amazing Alexes, not one of the Alex Murrays, but one of my top 3 favorite Alexes on this stream. We've got Alex Kingsley. Alex, tell people who you are, what you do, where they can find you online.
Oh, I can't believe I cracked the top 3. Yeah, so I, weirdly enough, am also named Alex, and I'm also a writer, comedian, and podcaster, not based in Brooklyn, based in Madrid. So there's the key difference here. I work with a company called Strong Branch Productions. We do a sci-fi comedy called The Stench of Adventure, which is casting for season 2 right now. So if you want to audition, you can. And also is having a fan art contest if you draw things and want to win cool merch. Yeah, you can find me on the internet on Twitter and TikTok at AlexyQuest. That's like Galaxy Quest, but it's my name. And I also think the last time that I was on here was for the first one of this. I think it's been a while.
Sequels are important
because you were traveling abroad.
I was moving around. Yeah. But I'm so excited to be back. I loved the first part of this, so I'm very excited to be here.
Oh, thanks so much.
Yeah, I am super excited to be back. I'm super excited. I actually love it when we get moments that we can kind of like take the same group of players deeper into a system, because we do mainly one-shots here on the stream, and so it's always a blast when we get to. With that said, we talked a little bit about safety tools beforehand, but I'm going to hand things over to John because they do a great job of managing that conversation to talk a little bit about content and just kind of walk us through any safety tools people should be aware of.
So generally, when I run a game, I tend to make sure there's no racist, sexist, homophobic, transphobic, no sexual assault, no elder abuse, no animal abuse, no child abuse, basically no funny business. The only thing that's going to be funny is the laughter you're going to experience playing this game with us. We want to make sure that everyone feels safe and comfortable playing 3-2-1 action, so we generally try to keep it, away from things that might not feel good to people. So if there is something, we went over safety tools ahead of time before we went on the stream, so I know where everyone is at with their lines and veils, and I'm ready to honor them. I'm ready to rock and roll.
Awesome. Well, with that said, we are going to go ahead and just kind of hand things over to you to take us into PointNemo.
All right, very cool. So before we get started, I'm going to tell you a little bit about the 3-2-1 action system. The 3-2-1 action system is a cinematic storytelling RPG engine. It is really more focused on story and fun over physics. The game runner, who is the person who will be running the game for you, is going to lead you through the story more as part of the team than being in an adversarial role. So I'm just as much a part of the story as you are. The game is played with a single D10. You don't roll to hit, you just roll for your damage. There are 6 stats that you have to you have to meet or roll underneath. There is a mechanic called fill the plot hole in 2 sentences. So if there's something that's outside of your general peer review of what you would be doing as this character, you could challenge and say, I want to do this, like ride a motorcycle. And the game runner will be like, well, fill the plot hole in 2 sentences. How can you just know how to ride a motorcycle? And you'd say something along the lines of, I used to ride dirt bikes with my cousin one summer and my mom hated it. And that's more than enough. And your penalties and your bonuses for your role will be based off of that. So this story, PointNemo, is 2 years after the events of Rocket to Russia. And I'm going to give you a little background on that, but I want to remind the players and I want to remind the people watching at home, you have luck points. And this is the kind of thing where instead of hit points, you've got luck. And when you run out of luck, you die. Also, you have guts that you have to keep your eye on too, because you can get a guts penalty. 3 of them, your stats are going to drop by 1. 4 of them, you die as well. So, keep that in mind. If you ever blow a roll, you can push your luck by surrendering some of your luck points to make that roll happen. So with that being said, here's where we are right now on the island of PointNemo. PointNemo is the loneliest place on Earth. It's a little lost spot in the ocean, somewhere between New Zealand and Chile. The textbook definition of the middle of nowhere. And since 1971, it's been a graveyard for every decommissioned spacecraft, satellite, and piece of space debris that has fallen from the sky. They got to land somewhere, right? Their mechanical ghosts now roam the ocean floor 4,000 kilometers below the surface. On January 28, 1986, the ISS Shadowstar, the code name for an off-the-books joint operation between the U.S. and USSR, crash-landed into the center of PointNemo. The Shadowstar had been a means to conduct research on some highly classified and highly dangerous experiments and operate cards on the table in front of each other and in the comfort and safety of space. A mysterious island seemed to evolve overnight from the wreckage of the Shadowstar. Over the next few years, the U.S. and a newly formed Russian Federation, after the fall of the Berlin Wall, set up camps on the island's shores. But the joint nature and collaboration involved with the ISS Shadowstar had grown more tense. What started as a joint cooperative research project in space had now become a tense salvage and recovery mission, with each side keeping a suspicious eye on the other and an ever-ready battleship at sea. In the fall of 1999, amid reports of strange happenings on the island, the further erosion of the relationship between the U.S. and Russia, and mixed with the looming fears of Y2K, the island was abandoned, and the battleships were called back to their respective countries. PointNemo was never to be spoken of again until one night in 2007, when billionaire philanthropist Eli Tanzir decided to put together a documentary film crew to set out to try to find this alleged spaceship graveyard. After hearing about it on his favorite conspiracy theory podcast, I Wish I Didn't Know. What they found there was something far, far worse. This is their story.
Nice.
So before we get started, why doesn't everyone introduce the characters that they'll be playing so our viewers will know who they're dealing with, and then we'll get on into the adventure. Let's start with you, actual Tony.
Awesome. Let me
as opposed to the imposter.
As opposed to imposter Tony. I've got actually everybody's character sheets pulled up, so I'm going to pop them up as we're doing intros. Let me pop over to mine real quick. So I am playing as Cassandra Costas. I'm a TV host / VJ. I am 29 years old, from Athens, Greece. Originally, she, her pronouns. And I was best known for my time in front of a camera hosting a daily top 10 video request show from the time I was 21 until a recent shakeup at the network found me replaced with what one exec referred to as new blood. With a rough landing behind me, I knew that it was time for a change. After a chance meeting with Eli at a Miami nightclub, I signed up to be a narrator and lead presenter of the documentary. So I am on-screen personality is my my main role.
Very cool. Murray, why don't you tell us about Bob Lum?
Oh, yeah, Bob Lum. Bob's known in many seafaring circles as a world-class Mr. Fix-It. It's been said that with a wrench and some elbow grease he can fix, well, I can fix anything. Bob's zest for life has put him on ships running from Australia to the Aurora Borealis in search of adventure. He's always a beloved and respected member of any crew. And I picked Bob because I like his inventory. I like that he's got like a Batman tool belt. Just the idea of like footloose and fancy free debonair mechanic boy really makes me happy. So I'm just traveling the world, fixing stuff.
Very cool. Alex, why don't you tell us about Tony?
Yeah, so I will be the fake Tony today, otherwise known as Tony Bourgeon, celebrity. Is that how you imagined it being pronounced, or is it Bourgeon?
Bourgeon.
I've heard it both. I've heard it both ways.
Okay, because I was like the cheese,
Like the cheese, yeah,
like
exactly.
the cheese, which I say Bourgeon. Celebrity chef, pronouns they them, from Italy, age 38. I am a world-renowned chef, and I want to travel, go on some new experiences. And when my last TV contract expired, Eli hired me to be the executive chef on this excursion, and I'm just thinking about it as a vacation.
Very cool. Now, there are only 4 inventory slots per person, and just to remind everyone that bullets in the gun counts as 1. Bow and arrow counts as 1. Everything in your tool belt counts as 1. A bag of Molotov cocktails counts as 1. So there is ways to max out the inventory. There will be items in the game, though, that will take up some more inventory spaces. So with that being said, here we go.
I had asked before we started about adding something to my inventory, and I'm wondering if I can, in fact, officially do that.
Oh, yeah. In bandolier form, up to, I'd say, easily 12.
Okay. Okay, great. Then I am adding a bandolier spice rack.
Yeah, like Chewbacca. There better be cumin
Yes,
in
like
there.
like Chewbacca. I'm the Italian chef Chewbacca.
I also, while we're there, I have an oversized wrench as well, and I would like to make it canon that it is comically oversized. That this is like, it's not like a large wrench. It's like a baseball bat sized wrench.
Oh no, it absolutely is. Like,
Yeah.
when I started getting things together for this game, I was like, what kind of wrenches do they use on ships? And there was a gigantic friggin' wrench. And I'm like, that's a weapon.
Yeah,
That's
absolutely.
Legit, like you can clock someone from a distance.
I think he uses it sort of like a cane. Like he just spins it and leans on it, and yeah.
Well, Bob Lum came to get down, and so did I. We are going to start with a scene that's made up of a series of vignettes. Skill checks are going to help you warm up and get you used to the rules. So you begin in a 12-foot lifeboat on the ocean. The sky is black as pitch, and the water around you is opaque as oil. The wind is howling louder than you ever thought possible. Behind you, the mega yacht, the Tanzier's Conquest 2, which is currently upended and crumpling like a $500 million piece of paper due to the gale force winds. Lightning flashes through the sky and seemingly targets the mega yacht like a wrathful god, sending a blinding light that causes the deck to burst into flames. Eli Tanzier, eccentric pharmaceutical billionaire, your employer for a sketchy documentary about PointNemo, and the same man whose overpriced phallic symbol is currently sinking somewhere in the Pacific Ocean, is standing at the edge of the lifeboat, shaking his fists and screaming in pure muted defiance of the storm. This might be the most expensive temper tantrum you've ever seen. It is at that moment that you see the head of security, Dom Sellers, springing into action and pull Eli down onto the deck of the lifeboat. Not one moment later, the sky is filled with a huge fireball as the auxiliary gas tank needed to take this trek explodes. You can feel the searing heat on your face. It is so intense, you instinctually avert your eyes and look into the ocean. You think you might? No, it was crazy. But in that flaming strobe light, the black ocean cleared up, and it was as if there was something swimming not too far from the surface. While you consider what might be lurking beneath your lifeboat, Alexis De Leon, Eli Tanzier's personal trainer and rumored fixer, pulls out a large combat knife and forces open a chest at the head of the lifeboat. She rifles through and then hands 2 oars to the 2 players with the most brawn. You think she wants you to row like your life depends on it. It does. So everyone, tell me what your brawn stat is.
Mine's 5.
3.
All right.
Oh yeah, we're tough this bunch.
So Cassandra and Bob, you are going to be rowing, and you're going to be doing some checks as you row.
Thank you.
If you want, Alex, you can rifle through the safety trunk if you'd like. To see
Yes,
what's in the
please.
safety trunk.
Yeah, I want to see what little treatsies are there for me.
So in that safety trunk, there are 5 life preservers, 1 ring buoy with 100 feet of nylon rope, a battery-powered marine radio, a week of rations, a compass, a flare gun with 2 flares, a first aid kit, and a case of bottled water. I'm going to drop this into the chat, so in case any of you wants to take anything, you will be able to do so.
I got one question for other Tony, and that's, what's the one spice that you wanted on your spice belt but is not there? Like you couldn't grab it quick enough. Like
I couldn't save my paprika. I think I was getting like dragged off the ship. Like everyone was like, "Oh, we gotta go, and I see it on the counter, and I'm like, "No!" So there's like 1 empty slot in the bandolier, and
R.I.P. paprika.
All right,
You never know when you're going to need it.
All right,
paprika. So, Cassandra and Bob, each of you make a brawn check for me at a +1. So what you're going to do is you're going to roll your dice and add 1 to it because it's a penalty, and try to make or roll below your stat.
I rolled a 9. I'm not doing good.
I rolled a 4 +1 is 5, which is at my my stat.
All right. So you both need to succeed in order to move the boat forward towards the island. So, Bob,
can't even get the oar into the little thing. He's picked out his duct tape and he's like, "No, I'll fix it. I'll make myself a."
I'm imagining that he's struggling just because his wrench is so large.
Yeah. He's trying to hold the wrench as well,
and the oar is like,
yeah. The boat is now spinning around. Give me another brawn check. This time at a +2.
Oh my gosh. Oh. Okay.
I started back paddling because of that. And what'd you roll?
I rolled an 11. I just dropped my oar.
I also rolled an 11.
I would like to add that since I am not rowing, in my inventory, I have cigarettes and a waterproof lighter. So I am just reclining, like with my feet up, maybe on somebody else. Just
light one up.
You all deal with it.
Just smoking. Can you maybe help? I have no idea what I'm doing. It says that Bob's from Connecticut, but I'm from Georgia, so now Bob's from Georgia. Could you maybe? I don't know. You got some oar spices in there? Help.
They're gonna look down at the bandolier and say, "No."
Oh God. Dang it.
So with that, the water gets choppier, and you're getting knocked back and forth in the boat. Everyone make an action check +1, or you're going to get tossed overboard.
Oh, my God.
Killer GM.
Yeah, okay, here we go.
John should have just been like, pick your first character, because I'm going to kill them. Right.
Get ready to die in a boat.
I got a 4 and my stat is 7, so I would like to say that I am not even shaken.
Yeah, you were sitting there gently.
I didn't even notice.
It's like the boat dips in some waves, but you don't move. You just cover, and it comes back up and gets you.
It's like a cartoon.
My stat is 6, and I rolled an 11.
Oh, no!
You can spend luck points to get down to it, or you're going overboard.
I mean, I critically failed that roll, so I'm gonna go overboard.
All right, so you go overboard. Make another action check +1 for me to stay above the water.
That is at my stat.
All right, so you made it. As this is happening, Alexis runs past you the front of the lifeboat, leaning over the edge like a figurehead, rigid against nature itself. She raises up her firm hand with the flare gun and she fires off a round. If one of you wants to try to fish Tony out of the water, you can make an action check +2 to try to help him get out.
Distracted by how firm and rigid all those actions were. Yeah, I'll do that. I'll jump for him. I guess I managed to stay in, but I've got my oar. Maybe I'm like reaching an oar out to him. And yeah, that should be good. It's a 5 under 7.
All right. So Bob manages to pull Cassandra back into the boat. The waves continue to toss the lifeboat as you are all holding on for dear life at this point. Anytime you try to look over the side of the boat, saltwater spray stings, thrashes your eyes. Alexis turns and what's that?
I put on a life jacket.
There you go. Alexis turns and shouts something, which is quickly devoured by the devilish moans of the ocean. She then points towards the island. You agree that this may be your only hope of survival and attempt to steer the lifeboat. You can actually start to feel at your back a large squall of wind wind itself up. You brace for impact. Everybody make an action check +1 to avoid being thrown overboard.
Ooh.
I should have gone for the life jacket when I had the chance.
I almost said something as we first got in and didn't, and then regretted it. I'm succeeded.
I also, I got a 6 under 7.
Ooh.
So I guess Bob not strong, but like
Okay.
situational awareness.
Well, that was a 9. So
Do you want to spend some luck points to make it, or are you going overboard?
I'm gonna spend some luck.
All right, so you make it. Alexis yells for you to come help her row. Everyone make a brawn. Just make a straight brawn check for me.
Maybe stop yelling at the three of us specifically to help row.
We seem like the least suited for this task.
Gangly nerds that
You,
are
the
obsessed with
VJ.
paprika. Yeah.
Bo. Ro, I rolled an 8.
I rolled a 9.
Oh, I rolled a 1. I'm balling.
All right,
Hell
so
yeah.
so Tony
I'm
now,
like using a single finger.
yeah,
Yawning.
not releasing the cigarette from their lip as they roll. It's just enough to get the job done. The island looks so close you can practically touch it. It almost looks like it's glowing. Alexis grabs an oar away from Bob and starts to row harder.
That's a
The
good call,
lifeboat
Alexis.
almost feels like it's been kicked into overdrive. The moaning of the wind grows louder and louder, growing in crescendo until it suddenly stops as the lifeboat touches the sandy beach. The silence is eerie. You hear the gentle lapping of water onto the beach. Everything is serene and illuminated by the silvery light of the moon and the stars. We're in the eye of the storm now, Dom Sellers says as he helps Eli Tanzir onto the shore, more or less dragging him. We better make camp. Alexis jumps off the lifeboat, grabs the rope tied to the eye loop of the lifeboat, and starts pulling the boat onto the beach. For a moment, you think you see something glowing in the distant jungle. Then suddenly, it's gone. So I'm going to drop the first map onto, or part of the first map, onto the chat right now. And you got some choices to make it what you want to do.
I immediately pull out my my first edition iPhone and fix my, check for a cell phone signal, which there isn't one, and then fix my hair.
Awesome.
I think Bob is helping to like get camp up. Like this is where he springs into action. So I'm like grabbing the lifeboat and like flipping it over and trying to make us some shelter, like at the edge of the beach and among some trees, with keeping an eye on the creepy jungle.
So what you actually see, and I dropped the first part of the map in the chat. It's a white sandy beach that runs a quarter mile from end to end with deep jungle on the east and west side. To your north is a jungle path lined with exotic jungle trees, rubber, capox, and cicropas. Thick vines hang from their branches and extend to the soil. Eli and Dom are sitting up at the beachhead having a quiet conversation. Alexis is sorting through the junk in the lifeboat. You can smell the stench of burning fuel emanating from the Tanzir Conquest helicopter, which crashed on the eastern shore. To the south is the Pacific Ocean. While dark at night, the gentle waves shimmer. The salt in the water feels gentle and warm as bits of debris from the wreck of Tanzir's Conquest 2 wash up on the shore. In that wreckage, you think you might see something that looks like it might be a body. So you've got several things that you can do here. You can talk to Eli and Dom, help Alexis bring the boat on the shore, explore the burning helicopter, investigate the dead body that washed up on the shore, or explore the entrance to the jungle path to the north.
So the original conceit behind the documentary that what was like, what are we going here to do? Like, what have we been told specifically?
So what you've been told is that you're going to film at the underwater spaceship graveyard. There was no mention of an island.
Okay. And do we know that we are in the right location, but when this thing went down?
You don't.
Okay.
The ship went down, you saw an island, you went for it.
We went for it. So we don't know if we're on course, off course. None of us have any. Okay, cool. I think I'm going to inspect the body.
Okay. Bob, what are you going to do?
I think, like I said, what Bob would start doing is helping make camp, like securing camp and doing that. But that's not very exciting, and we're on a live stream. So I guess I'm gonna go look at the smoking helicopter if I could. And like, we're out. Has it like calmed down a little bit, the storm and everything? Like, are we at like a place of relative calm on the beach? Or
once you got to the island, the storm is kind of like chilled out, or the storm has kind of moved off in a different direction.
Okay, in a mysterious way, or in a like thank God way, or
in a thank God way.
Okay.
And Tony, what's Tony doing?
I think at first Tony's not doing anything. They're just like kind of watching everyone else like going about their survival things, and they just go, "Mamma mia!" And then, and then they're gonna go check out the dead body.
That's a spicy meatball. Yeah, okay. So
linguine.
All right, we'll start with the helicopter.
Okay.
So
cool.
The helicopter.
I think my impetus in my head is to see if there's any sort of communication equipment in there that is salvageable or what's up.
So it's on fire, and then Eli Tanzir walks over and he puts his hand on his head and he says, "I told Munson to scout ahead when the satellite went down. The storm just showed up out of nowhere." He looks kind of sad because he knows how much that helicopter cost, but he surveys the wreckage and goes, "Good thing the helicopter was insured. I'll probably make money off this crash."
Bob's just gives him the very like, "Yeah, good for you, buddy." Sort of like shrug. And then Bob goes and looks and sees that there's other people in there. It doesn't look like anybody is savable or anything. We're just watching it burn.
Unfortunately, no one was savable from this.
Okay. Dang.
But Eli doesn't have to pay their salary anymore, so he's happy.
God.
So those searching the body, make a cool check with a +1 penalty.
I do have a question.
Yeah.
Is there a camera person who survived this or not?
None that have washed up on the shore where you are.
Cool. All right. I have to do a thing. Hold on. There we go.
So when we were given like the choices of characters that we could be, those other characters are not here. They are dead.
They're not around.
They're not around. Okay, they're not around. Got it.
So one thing that was always important to me with this kind of game was because of cinematic storytelling, you might die. You know, you might end up dying. So the idea is if you die, one of the other characters will just have washed up on another spot on the island, and wouldn't you know, here we are.
Lost season 2.
Third season of Lost It. Yeah.
I was about to say that's Lost.
Yeah, but my game has a better ending.
I mean, to be fair,
would be the
bar is very low. Very low.
You know, I watched that show just like everybody else, and like everybody else, I was just so upset by the end of it all.
I think, and we'll go back to playing this game in just 1 second. It was very evident a season and a half before the end that they knew they weren't going to have a good ending, because they basically started very strongly telegraphing it's not the end that matters, but the journey and the relationships you make along the way, in all of the subplots. Like it was all about
exactly
the journey.
When I gave up.
Yeah. So
as long as there's no smoke monster in this game, I'm happy.
There is not. And listen, when we get off air, I have a little inside baseball on Lost, so we'll talk
some Lost after the fact. I made my cool check.
Okay. So you're searching the body, and what it looks like to you is this is another one of Eli Tanzir's bodyguards. So what you find is a waterproof lighter, a combat knife, and a handgun with 6 rounds.
Awesome. So is a combat knife better than a switchblade?
I would say yes.
Okay.
It's a Rambo knife.
Yeah, I assumed. I just wanted to make sure. I
Not as good for looking cool when you're going to rumble with those awful sharks.
Yeah, that's true. I am gonna pick up the combat knife and gun. I don't want to hold on to the combat knife. I basically just want to be like, I found this.
Okay.
The gun I'm gonna put in classic "You're on a mysterious island and found a gun" fashion in like the back of my pants underneath my shirt, so no one can tell that I have it.
Awesome.
How Sawyer of you.
How Sawyer of me. So.
Yeah, we all have to pick our lost kin for this game. I'm assuming that I saw that because I too am inspecting the body.
I don't know. How did your roll go?
Unless is there? Oh, I rolled 1 under 3, so pretty good.
Yeah, so I would say that you know that there's you kind of like guys locked eyes, and Cassandra just slipped in her waistband.
We had a moment.
Yeah.
I offer you the knife.
Oh, I'll take the knife. Okay. This is what I'm gonna do. You're offering me the knife. I kind of do a little. I pull out my meat thermometer. I stick it in the meat.
Wow.
Oh, dude.
I'm like,
I love it.
I just gotta ask a question, John. This is not your first time running this game, I'm assuming.
No.
Is this the first time anybody's stuck that meat thermometer inside of this dead body?
Yes. I've had several people. Tony is a favorite character among the people I've run this game for. I've had Tony use that. They were like, I'm gonna poke this creature with this meat thermometer as a weapon. But I've never seen that.
You've never seen somebody use it as a meat thermometer in this way?
No.
Because
Go
ahead.
No.
Here's my thing is I'm here to be the chef, and we just got stranded Lost style. We gotta eat something.
Whoa! Are you externally
Damn, just went
processing
right
it?
to it. We've been on this beach for 10 minutes.
They've still got this smoking cigarette. They check the thermometer. The meat's still fresh. They go, I can work with this. And then they accept the knife from Cassandra.
I am no longer worried at all about the fact that they saw me take that gun.
Yeah,
other than
so
the fact that they know I have it.
Yeah.
So I just dropped Dom Sellers in the chat. He's Eli's like main bodyguard. He kind of just sees this transpire. He kind of slides his glasses down his nose, slides them back up, and grabs Eli and pulls Eli in close. After seeing this transpire.
Fair. I believe it.
Alexis is kind of now looking over by the path. And Alexis is pointing up ahead. This takes us off the beach.
Yeah, but is that good? Like, we don't know what the hell this island's even doing here, and we're just going to go wandering into it. Do we have a plan? Like, are we trying to get a signal to somebody or signal fire or what? We're just going to walk into the jungle?
Does anybody want a snack first?
I mean,
I feel like
if you had paprika,
can...
fucking maybe.
Yeah, I mean, I think were there rations?
Bring up my paprika.
There were actually rations on the boat.
Yeah, you say that and look over. We're just casually eating like
this escalated
a Clif Bar,
very
like,
quickly.
dude. Dude.
I think this is a good like plan Z. Like, I don't maybe not a good plan Z, but I think this is a plan Z.
What, cannibalism?
Yeah.
Okay.
He's already dead.
I don't know what to do with this.
Damn. Well, you just, man, really can't fault that logic, can you? He is already dead, and I've never eaten a person. I am footloose and fancy free. I do love an adventure. It's why I'm here.
I mean, technically it's international waters, so no rules.
I guess I do have to
Yeah,
ask.
also no rules.
I do have to ask, Tony, would this be your first time preparing human flesh?
He didn't really prepare it. He just picked it off of Nature's Grill here.
I mean, I guess I was speaking more in the Plan Z eventuality of we eat this poor person. I didn't know if it was like a sashimi thing where we're eating them raw or whether there's a preparation process.
Oh no. There's a preparation. I'm a professional after all.
I mean, I'm just
thinking
thinking like saltwater brine is just the first thing that come into my brain. But
we could do a nice ceviche, I bet. Yeah, right here on this island, just kick back, wait for somebody to rescue us. I love it.
While all that's happening, you hear rustling in the jungle off the beach.
Did y'all?
I bet that's friendly natives here to help us out.
Did y'all see something in the jungle earlier when we were coming off the boat?
I mean,
Alexis draws her knife, and she does the eye thing, the point of the eyes, and she points to Dom, and Dom does the thing back, and Dom looks at you, and he goes, he shh, does the whole thing, like tells you to be quiet.
I'm gonna point at the dead body / meat and go.
And he just pulls Eli Tanzir.
I pull out my cell phone and get ready to capture this footage.
So, is anyone going to explore the path leading out of the jungle?
Yeah, I think I'm gonna pick up my comically large wrench, and now I've got it like a baseball bat, you know. And like I'm gonna sort of sneak over there, like towards Alexis. And
so I'll take the knife I was gonna use for filleting and follow Bob.
So the entrance to the clearing is covered in jungle brush. Upon closer inspection, though, you can see the remnants of a small path leading to the west. It leads to a clearing. The clearing is kidney-shaped, 40 by 40, and lined with jungle on all sides. To the northwest, there's more jungle brush and what appears to be another small path. There's something that seems kind of like netting on the path.
Okay. Like over the just blocking the way.
Mixed in with the ground and the debris on the ground.
On the ground there's netting.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's a little suspicious.
Yeah, solidly sus, man.
I'm gonna point to I'm gonna indicate to Alexis and be like,
I'm going to, with my camera pointed at the net, or my phone pointed at the net, pick up a rock and throw it in the middle of it.
Holy shit.
So you throw a rock in the middle of it. And when it hits, it kind of moves like some of the dirt off of it. Cassandra, you immediately recognize it. It's a volleyball net. And when you look to the left, you can see the remnants of the steel poles used to prop it up. And in that moment, you come face to face with a horrific visage, a contemptible creature that is an amalgamation of both man and fish and makes an audible warbling sound as it turns, jumps out of the jungle, and points its spear at you.
Oh, shit. Yeah, it looks like we're going to have to definitely make ceviche for sure, right?
Oh, yeah.
So this is an Amphicore. It jumps out of the jungle at you, spear pointed forward, ready to attack. Now, how this works is in 3, 2, 1 action, the players always go first, then the monsters go. And any future monsters get folded in to the monster's next turn. So unless it's a surprise round, which this really isn't a surprise round, it's just kind of a get your feet wet, used to combat thing, you all can make a plan, decide what you want to do, tell the GR, roll your damage, and we'll see how it shakes out.
This thing does not seem interested in playing volleyball. Like setting up a volleyball competition to see who wins this is not an option.
Nah, man, I think my chill beach vacation is. I think we have moved out of Jimmy Buffett's song and into.
Yeah, damn, this is the worst vacation ever.
I like the idea of it jumping out and Bob's just gonna be like, ah, and just like no hesitation, just totally just like, oh hey, no, I don't like you at all. So I'm gonna hit him.
What's everyone else doing?
I have a question,
Sure.
and it's can I pick something up and use it without it being added to my inventory?
Oh yeah, of course.
Okay, cool. Because I'm wondering if the
Nice.
like, because all I've got is a knife, and this buddy over here's got a spear. That's not we're not doing great lengthwise. I'm wondering if I can pick up one of the oars from the rowboat to get that length.
Sure.
For just kind of a smack. Let's say going for the legs, knock the legs out.
So that would be damage -8 when you roll for it. And what's Cassandra doing?
Cassandra is, I think, screaming and recording at the same time.
Okay. Are you behind the camera, or are you in selfie mode screaming?
I
feel
think
like it's an important distinction.
I think it's like it is
just the one camera on the
on the
Gen 1
first
iPhone.
edition it's just the
You're
one.
right.
So it
Yeah.
is like a like some very advanced early iPhone technique.
All right, so
It's like weird curvy iPhone.
I have figured out high angles already though, so it's it is
yeah,
up.
you're getting the right angle.
Yeah.
So Bob and Tony, roll your damage. So you're gonna roll a d10 and subtract whatever your damage modifier is, and that's how much damage you're gonna do.
Does this count as an improvised weapon, or is it? I mean, it is. I mean, I use it like this often. I get a +3 to improvised weapons damage.
No,
bonus.
because this is your main
okay,
weapon.
this is my boy. Okay, cool.
You told me that it was
Damage -8.
-8. So if I get below an 8, does it not do damage?
It doesn't do damage.
Okay, yeah, I got a 5, so
Okay.
I missed.
I rolled a 10, and my damage with the wrench is a -6. So I
you got 4
absolutely no hesitation. Wow, no,
Don't
Fish
like
monster.
that.
Fish monster, no, thank you.
So
Just teed off, just like
Just teed off on
absolutely,
it.
yeah.
Cassandra is screaming and filming. Alexis and Dom circle around Eli to protect him. Tony comes running up with the oar and just slaps, and it just makes like a slapping sound against the thigh of the Amphicore, and it's just like a whack, and you're like, and it kind of echoes in the jungle, but it doesn't do anything. Meanwhile, here comes Bob Lum, bam, with that wrench. The Amphicore steps back for a second and then goes to poke Bob with its spear.
Hey, stop.
But it misses you. I rolled a 2, and it's a -4 modifier, so it completely misses you. What does everyone want to do now?
I think I stop screaming and I start narrating about this fish creature that has come out of the jungle towards us.
There's so much help.
I'm essentially doing play-by-play at this point in time.
Bob hits the fish monster again with his wrench.
It worked the first time.
Stop it. Gross. Man, I've been a lot of places in my life being a fix-it boy, but I've never seen such a thing.
What's Tony doing?
I think Tony's probably going to realize that the oar was not the move, not a good plan. So they're going to try to, while the Amphicore is focused on Bob, get behind it and go for side of the neck with the combat knife.
Love it. All right, roll your damage. And remember, you get a +2 to damage, Tony, because you have a bladed weapon.
Hell yeah, dude.
So I get
8.
+2, but what is the knife's?
I think it's -4.
-4.
Okay.
So you have -2 with it.
You have -2 now.
Okay, great. Ooh, baby. That's going to be a 5.
Awesome. And what does Bob Lum do?
I hit him for 2.
So all this is happening. Cassandra is moderating. Alexis is getting ready to enter the fray. However, Tony, realizing that their attacks with the oar is really ineffective, remembers that they have a huge honking knife. And Tony, used to moving and maneuvering through the busy kitchens, dealing with the sous chefs and the wait staff and everyone, just slides behind the Amphicore and prepares their knife. Bob reaches over, cracks the Amphicore one more time in the skull. The Amphicore falls back onto Tony's knife and dies.
As the moment that happens, I would like to go. I've still got a lit cigarette, by the way.
Oh yeah.
I'd like to go. Sushi, anyone?
Love it. So you stand triumphant over your foe, trying to match the rhythm of the breath in your lungs to the beating of your heart. Your brain is a whirl trying to wrap your head around the last 10 minutes of carnage you just experienced. As your breathing slows, you notice that the path leads a little further into the jungle to a dead end filled with hardy thickets and vines. So now Alexis moves forward. She looks over and she looks down and she looks at Eli and she says, "This one of those fish people?" And Eli runs up to her and he's like, "This is amazing. I didn't think they really existed," in awe. He composed himself before adding, "Friends, finally we have proof that humanity is not alone." And Dom looks up at him and says, "You're right there. We're definitely not alone." And then points to the beach. You can see more Amphicora starting to come out of the ocean. As the waves tumble out to the shoreline, it is accompanied by a fog that spreads over the sand like a blanket tucking the beach into bed. With its shadowy figure ascends from the ocean one by one until there are 10. Their bodies are wrapped in seaweed and scales, and in their fish-fingered hands are spears pointed in your direction. Now, you've got a little distance on them. You look around, though, and up that one path, you do see it is a dead end. However, it looks like there's a dead soldier leaning up against a tree. The dog tags are gleaming in the moonlight, kind of like signaling to you. Now, Alexis and Dom are getting ready to cheese it up the path deeper into the jungle. What do you want to do?
I really don't want to split the party, but
yeah, I imagine whatever we do, we should do the same thing. I was gonna vote, get out of here.
Yeah, run.
So
I do want to say that
a little
I'm
more
gonna...
of the map to the thing.
There's
oh, good.
There's
Yeah.
like there's trees spanning each side of this path, correct?
Correct.
I 100% would like to try to convince one of my compatriots to take this volleyball net and spread it across the path to create a temporary barrier.
That was my first thought too, is do something with it. And I get the plus to improvised weaponry. So yeah, if I could, I see you picking it up and like go, "Oh yeah, absolutely good idea," and like trusty roll of duct tape comes right out.
While they're putting up the volleyball net trap, I just kind of want to saunter over to Eli and say, "We got to discuss my contract."
And Eli looks at you and he looks at them and he looks at you and he looks at them and he says, "You can have a raise." And he starts running. And then Alexis and Dom start running up the path after him. They're going northbound further into the jungle on the path. Cassandra and Bob, make an action check for me.
Cool. Yeah, dude. That's a 1.
I make my action check.
Okay, which one of you is going across the path to the other side to tie the volleyball net across?
I don't like.
I think it's probably me, right?
Yeah, I think that's probably you. And
Yeah,
the reason why is
like,
I just went to the nearest tree as I initiated this action.
Yeah,
you know.
Got it.
And then I went, yes, that, and like grabbed it and just went running across to like, like secure it to the other tree and then just run.
So as you go running back across the path, one of them throws a spear at you. It misses. Your handiwork is the finest. So you
Yes.
know your side of the tree is going to hold up really good.
Mhm.
Do you want to check Cassandra's work or?
Yeah. I feel like Bob actually probably mansplains like a lot. I think he kind of can't help himself. Also, this is an 80s movie. So I go over and running over and I'm like, hey, darling, is everything okay over here? Oh, no. Oh, Bob.
Oh, Bob,
Ugh.
you had. Make a
Room for
make
character growth now.
make a brains check for me.
Yeah. Nah, I think he has an existential crisis when he realizes he's being horrible and cannot at all focus on like her work, and just immediately like he thinks about his mom and all the strong, powerful female figures in his life, and he's like, "Nah, that's not right at all. I bet you did great. Come on, let's get out of here."
I mean, I did make it. I did make my.
If Bob survives, I really hope that he gets an epilogue where he's like reading feminist literature and
Yeah,
like, I got to rethink my life and my choices.
Yes. Just Bob sitting
He
next
wasn't
to a
reading Jane Eyre
rainy
on the boat
window
on the way
reading
home.
the
Yeah.
bell jar.
Have you all heard
Yeah.
about Judith Butler?
Oh my God. So you know the net is going to hold, but it won't hold for long. Are you going to move it up the path?
The net? Oh,
The
my
net-
body. Yes.
Yeah.
My
Yeah.
meat sack.
Yeah, your meat sack. The net will hold them off for a little while, but it won't hold forever.
You said is the soldier up in that like alcove kidney bean area, or were they further up the path?
He's like 5 feet into a different little thing leaning up against a tree.
Okay. I'm gonna run over and check that body real quick.
All right. So it's 10 by 10. It's surrounded
I'll
by
come with you.
awesome. Surrounded on all sides by jungle brush. A long dead male American soldier, decayed and appearing to be half eaten. His dog tags read Beauregard. In his hands is an M4 rifle.
Not so bow anymore.
And in a holster on his right leg is an M9 handgun. You could check to see how many bullets they have left if you want to take them.
I mean, sure. That sounds great.
All right, give me
Cassandra's
1 second.
really stocking up here. Cassandra's the
Yeah,
freaking
I'm not into
armory.
killing things at all, but I am into dead bodies and weapons.
into the capability.
Yeah, I like
Okay.
I like things that have died, and I like things that could kill people. I'm just not into violence.
I just like things I can cook.
All right, so for the handgun, give me a D10 roll -1.
So there is 1 bullet in it.
Okay, so you get the handgun. The handgun has 1 bullet in it. And then for the M4, give me a D10 roll +1.
It has 10 bullets in it.
All right, so that is your ammo on the found weapons that you have in your hands now.
Awesome.
The Amphicore are coming. What are you gonna do?
I'm gonna hand Tony that handgun and grab
You're giving me the handgun?
and grab that rifle.
Okay. Can I fire just the single shot and then throw it away?
You can absolutely.
Okay, cool. I don't want to get rid of all my other cool stuff.
Take this gun, bang, and they just
It's gone.
So roll a D10 -3 for me.
Okay. 5.
So you pull it out, and you remember back to one day on set on one of your shows, you went like shooting for the afternoon, and you just pick it up, you pop a round off, and you go to pull the trigger again, but there was only 1 bullet in there. It wings one of the Amphicore, it falls down, and then you just look at the gun and just and you throw the gun. And the
Do
gun
I
hits-
do I also get an attack roll for the throwing the gun?
Yeah, roll a -9 for me.
roll a 10.
Oh goddamn, that was a 6. All right.
Yeah, it fell short of the net, but they are still
Fair
coming,
enough.
and they are now mad.
Alright.
You shot one of their buddies.
No, that's fair. That's fair.
Oh, good.
yeah, okay,
Pissed
okay,
off
I'm-
fish zombies. Great.
I'll say to Cassandra, I think we should run now.
Okay, and I say okay, and then I turn off my cell phone, and then I turn back and wait until they're near the net, like as they're getting closer and closer, and then I just start shooting into the mass of them.
Okay. Give me 3d10 rolls, and you're gonna subtract -2.
So that's a 6, a 7, and a 6.
Right. So yeah. So 4, 5, and 4. So you pop
Oh no,
out.
so that I had already subtracted the 2.
Oh, cool. So you just pop, 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 pop. You pop off 3. 3 of them fall dead. And then they are gonna throw some spears at you. So 4 of them are gonna hurl spears. Now, where is Tony and where is Bob at this point? You guys are still in the little clearing?
Bob is up to shenanigans by the road.
Classic Bob.
Yeah, classic Bob. He's setting up he's trying to make snares out of branches. He's just pulling branches back and then just looping them down and putting them to little trip wires, just real fast, all the way. The idea being that as we retreat, as these idiots are walking up the road or coming into us, after they're gonna take damage.
All right, so
I'm improvising weapons like crazy.
Yeah, you get winged by one of them for 1 luck point damage. Cassandra, you get a little more of a substantial slice. You get 1 slides across your right arm. You get 2 luck points of damage.
Okay, I have -1 to all damage, so I just take 1 damage for that.
There you go. So make a brains check for me, Bob.
You okay? Here we go. Bob, clever, not smart. That's what Bob do. Oh, that's not good. I got a 10. My brains is a 5.
Don't waste any luck points on it. You're only gonna be able to make 3 traps.
Okay, cool.
I thought we were going to see Bob hanging upside down this week.
I will help y'all.
Not quite. But they are getting closer to the net. So what do you do?
I can't decide if this is a good idea or a really bad idea.
Do it.
Okay, I want to make the net a little more dangerous, so I wanted to, as they're nearing the net, because originally Tony was like, am I gonna go? Am I gonna stay with them? I really want to run away, but I don't know. This woman just plowed down 3 of them, and it was kind of fucking sick. So I think I'm gonna run up to the net, take out my lighter, and try to light it on fire, so that when they run into it, they run into a wall of flames.
All right, make an action check for me.
Okay.
He just turns around and runs back at them.
And this action check, it's going to be a +1 because this action check is to
that.
not to light it on fire. You're going to get right up there and you're going to light it up, but it is to be able to run away without getting pelted by the remaining spears.
Sure. Okay, I have to roll under my action, right?
Yeah. So, but
And
you're adding +1 to the roll.
I'm adding +1 to the roll.
Yep.
Okay. That's. Do I want to spend luck?
Well,
Yeah.
how bad did you blow it?
I only missed it by 1. So
it's a risk reward thing, and here's why spending the luck works in your favor sometimes, because there are going to be 3 spears being thrown at you. Each one could potentially, if I roll my max damage, I could potentially do 18 points of damage to you.
yeah, that's not gonna be worth it. So I'm gonna spend. It was I rolled over by 1, and then there's the +1. So I'm gonna spend the 2
Worth it
to succeed.
So you managed to boogie on out of there before the spears are just hitting the ground below you, and you're just hauling. Did you take the meat thermometer back with you, or is it still in the body on the beach?
No, I needed to leave it in order to pick up the knife.
Good call. 4 inventory spaces, everybody. So are you heading up the path?
Yeah, I think I'm heading up the path at this point. I'm done.
What about you, Bob and Cassandra?
Oh yeah, no, this has all been in retreat. I am rigging things as I run.
Cassandra's
I like how
doing
we were
the slow backwards walk while shooting.
Are you going to fire a few more shots? Or
Yes, absolutely.
All right, roll 3 more d10s -2.
2, 4, and 1.
Is your damage?
Yep.
You hear another one scream, and you can see it kind of drop below the feet and the fire. The fire is now burning. As you're running and you're slow moving backwards, you can see the machetes kind of coming down at the top and kind of piercing the fire as they're trying to chop through the flaming volleyball net. So the path that you're running on, it's going north. It leads off the beach, and it becomes a tight 5-foot walkway. It appears to be man-made.
Tight.
It's lined with rubber trees with thick brush at their base and lianas vines. These are like the thick, like pitfall vines that are hanging from the trees. It goes back about 60 yards. It opens up into a clearing with 3 paths, one stretching northwest, one to the north, and one east. You can smell the earthiness of the ground, albeit there is a slight stink of rot in the air. So at the junction of the 3 paths is a wooden signpost with several locations listed, all written in English. To the north, there is a sign that says Zivon. To the east, there is one that says Moscow. The sign pointing south says beach, and the westward sign, while broken, still hangs from the post. The only letters that you can make out is B-E-T. Now down the east path, this is where you catch up to Eli, Alexis, and Dom. You hear a faint, high-pitched squeal. Dom looks distressed at this sound and says to Alexis, "Keep your eyes on Eli. I'll be right back." Eli whines, "Well, you're not leaving me. Get back here." But Dom doesn't listen, and he disappears down the eastern path.
What does he know?
Oh, man. Can I get up a tree?
Yeah, make an action check +1.
I mean, this is like I look at the big giant vines and I would like vantage point. Action check +1. No, we're good, baby. That's a 3 under 7.
You get right up the tree, and I just add a little more of the map so you can see the other paths. So which direction are you looking in?
I want to see, I mean, like, we're going to do a quick scan. So, like, behind us to see if these idiots are still in pursuit or if they've gone back into the ocean. And then, I'm looking for, like, horizon scan, looking for anything. Again, I think in Bob's head, his like, communication devices. We need to be able to let people know that we're here. So I'm looking for a building or a structure of any kind.
So you get up the tree and you look to the west first, because you kind of like turn around as you climb up, and you see a path that leads to the northwest that appears to have like these lava pools in it at different intervals. You look to the north and you can see a down bridge that leads to what looks like an army tent.
Cool.
And then you see the trees are kind of obstructing you to the path to the west, because you see Dom kind of disappear down that path.
Okay.
And let me put the full map in here now. And the reason hiding anything, because you've seen it.
Because now
and I shimmy back down and like relay all of that information to my compatriots.
So if you guys went ahead, I am still back shooting at those things until my gun is out of bullets.
You're still shooting?
Oh yeah, until the gun is out of bullets. And so
all right, you can roll 4 more.
All right. Which will make the gun out of bullets, but
no, it will make the gun out of bullets.
All right, so we have a 7, 2 4s, and a 5.
So you kill a few more of them. There's still a couple left, and they're still trying to hack their way through the thing, but the fire is starting to spread. And you hear kind of like a warbling coming from the beach area, and then you hear warbling coming from other parts of the jungle, as if they're calling out to each other.
Yo.
I fling the rifle like thrown baseball bat style at these things, and then start running up the hill.
Okay. So which path do you want to go down? You want to go up the straight path to the western path, or you want to follow Dom down the eastern path?
What did the signs say? Oh, sorry. Was that just a question for Cassandra?
No, that's a question for all of you.
I think I have like slid back down the tree, and like I guess like in the movie, I'm sliding back down the tree as Cassandra is like running up and catching up with us out of breath, and I'm like, all right, y'all, there's a tent up that way. That crazy asshole ran down that way, and there's like lava that way.
Okay, so
I don't know what's
probably-
going on. Are those fish still coming?
Probably yes. Probably not the lava. A tent sounds pretty promising. Yeah.
But it's on the
Yeah.
other side of where
Right.
Can we get to it?
Oh yeah, there is like a
You'd have to
chasm
move
and a down bridge.
Oh, okay. Never mind.
Yeah.
The chasm makes the tent less promising.
If
My
only,
bad. I
if
buried
only
the
we
lead
had
on that
100
one. Sorry,
feet of
there is a
rope.
chasm.
How we should have taken the rope.
Listen, friends, your boys can build a bridge.
Can you build a bridge before the fish people
Is it
come?
me? I mean, we'll have to get up there and see what's what.
Maybe we should just follow that guy.
Yeah. Did he ran towards the path that wasn't
Sure.
lava and wasn't a down bridge, right?
Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah, I
But
mean,
there
that
was
seems
shrieking
reasonable.
coming from it.
Yeah.
Or there was wailing. I can't remember the word. Something
More like a
else.
high pitched whine,
There
I'd
was a
say.
high, there was a high pitched whine.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, like a whine, but real high pitched.
So you guys are gonna go down the eastern path.
Yeah, I'm down.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I'm
as you
down to
guys
just,
get
like,
to the
give chase
junction,
to-
That was the beat path, right?
what's that?
The sign just said beat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, the B was the western path.
Oh, never mind.
But as you go running down, you come across you get to the edge of the clearing where you would either go straight or you would go to the left or right, and you could actually kind of see what looks like a down rope bridge that would have led to the other side where the tent is. In the distance, you can see what appears to be an upside down Russian flag waving overhead. And in the wind, you hear a sound that to some might be familiar, but it's hard to make out. It's a familiar song to some of you, and it sounds like it's whistling.
To whom is it a familiar song?
Yeah.
Well, make a brains check +1 to see if you can name that tune.
Ew.
All of us?
Nope.
Anybody who wants to do it.
No.
No,
Not
definitely not.
Is someone there?
I
Did,
just start whistling back.
Cassandra, did you make it?
No.
Do you want to try to match the tune that they were whistling?
Me?
After I yell, absolutely.
Okay. See, I'm losing my voice. So it's
I mean, I know it.
that's
I don't know. I don't know it IRL.
I don't know at IRL either. It'll
Yeah.
be fun to find out.
In
later
real
on.
life, I'm a big Scorpions fan, and also weirdly helped end communism. What a weird song! Everybody read the Wikipedia entry for "Winds of Change" by the Scorpions.
Yeah.
It's wild.
So that's what you hear blowing in the wind. The first few bars of "Wind of Change" by the Scorpions. That's meta.
Nice.
That's out of game. None of you figured it out.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you see the path. It goes down to a 50-foot circular clearing, with the path continuing on its north side. There are 8 rubber trees unevenly staggered around the edge of the clearing, each adorned with Liliana vines. On the left, they're growing from the ground. On the right, they're hanging from the branches. You see Dom Sellers kneeling at the edge of the clearing, uncoiling his rope. Don't take a step further. This is quicksand. Then he points to a little pink piglet with a tuft of white hair on its head, who seems very distressed to be caught in the middle of the quicksand. He's like, I knew that sound right away. I bought one of these for my daughter for her 9th birthday. Lady at the pet store didn't tell me how big they can get. Don't worry, little guy. We'll get you out. Somebody give me a hand.
This is a horrible idea. I mean, we gotta save this pig though.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, there's no way I'm gonna get let a little piglet die.
I mean,
I'll set up
I
and get a
imagine
good
thinking
angle for
about
this.
cooking it.
Yeah, no, in character, I'm like, that's meat, baby. That is a goddamn waste. In real life, Alex, I'm going.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm gonna help save this pig if I
Yeah,
can.
I mean, you went from body to bacon, so I figured it's all uphill, right?
Yeah, exactly. It's anything's better than that.
So he is cutting and knotting his rope to try to make something that he can wade into the quicksand with. Does anyone want to help him tie it to a tree, or you could help hold the rope?
I think
I mean, yeah,
Oh yeah, no, go ahead.
this is what I do. Yeah.
Cassandra's just getting a good angle, is not being helpful at all right now, other than the documentation of this is actually kind of skirting around the edge of the clearing, trying to not step in the quicksand as they try to get to the far side so they can get that best shot.
I mean, in fairness, Cassandra has like the highest body count at this point. So take the break.
By a lot.
Yeah, by a whole lot. I killed one fish. Yeah, Bob's absolutely helping to secure the rope.
All right, and is Tony going in?
No, I think Tony's also helping to secure the rope because they're not. They want to save the pig, but not so much that they're going to like actually risk falling into the quicksand.
That's all right. So Dom,
I'd like to try and lasso the pig with the rope.
Okay.
Bob spent he spent summers working at dude ranches when he was a little kid. It was like his first ever fixie gig. He showed a lot of aptitude for fixing freezers, and he worked at a kitchen on a dude ranch. And he learned how to lasso.
I did not even need to ask you to fill the plot hole in 2 sentences. You did it so majestically. I'm going to give you a bonus to do this.
Hell yeah.
Action check. I'm gonna give you a -2 to your action check. Yeah. So subtract 2 from whatever you roll.
Bazam. Oh, it's a 6, which is my action's a 7. So yes.
All right. So you get the rope and you lasso the pig. The pig is just freaking out though. The pig is like not doing the thing that doing the thing you're not supposed to do, which is get like all wiggly into the quicksand. So
be still, pig. Also, I learned how to talk to pigs that summer.
I believe it. Look, I saw Babe Pig in the City too. I'm right there with you, man.
The darkest of all babes.
Cassandra's filming. Tony is sitting there. They are like, are you sizing up the pig? Like figuring out exactly how much you're gonna get out of this one?
I think I'm even holding the knife and kind of going like imagining where the lacerations go.
Oh my god, this is awesome. You're so good at this. Bob,
weird Dexter chef.
Make an action check for me to reel the pig out of the thing.
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. At just a regular. Well, I still got it's a 7. I met my
you're fine.
7.
So
7
as you start pulling the piglet to freedom, you hear a deep lurch. The edges of the quicksand begin to rise off the ground and form a green saucer held up by a thick green vine. Sands continue to pour down as the edges fold over, forming a vicious-looking mouth. Meanwhile, the jungle vines around you have moved and are currently trying to strangle you. The pig...
No.
Safe as churches. The pig ran off into the jungle. But now you're face-to-face with the Krellborn.
Okay. Well, I am holding a lasso, though. So that's pretty cool.
Is it the Krellborn because it's plant monster?
You get there.
That's funny. That's funny.
Yep. Listen, growing up, one of my favorite things in the entire world was Little Shop of Horrors. I love Little Shop of Horrors.
It's my favorite musical.
Bob Shwab.
I'm like, how do I
Bob Shwab, baby,
legally get Audrey 2 in my game? Well,
and you did it.
Nailed it. However, vines wrap around all of your ankles. Everyone make a successful brawn check +1 to break the vine.
That's not good. Nope.
Can I use my knife? That's already out.
You can, yeah.
How does that affect the stat?
Just remove the penalty.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm still very weak. Yet somehow succeeded.
Yep. You slash. Tony slashes. Their ankle is free.
You were so horny to use that knife. You just
you're like, I gotta cut something.
You were ready for that. So Bob, did Cassandra fail too?
Cassandra made it.
Okay. So Bob, all of a sudden you're like, yeet, and just start getting dragged into the quicksand. As you're getting dragged in there, you feel the vine start to tighten around your ankle. You're gonna take 1 luck point of damage.
Sure. Ow, literally biting at my ankles. Cool.
And now it's starting to pull you up, and it opens its mouth, and it's going to try to bite you.
No, I hate this, y'all.
It whips you down, but you kind of jerk out of the way at the last second. It misses you, but you're going to have to make a brawn check +2 to break free on your turn. Now it's the party's turn. What do you want to do? Dom pulls out his gun and just starts kind of firing, but he just hitting the quicksand. The quicksand is kind of protecting it from the gun.
This thing is in the middle of the quicksand, correct? Like
it's in the middle, but it's kind of moving towards the front.
Okay. I had I'm trying to think. I'd moved off to the side a little bit. I feel safe-ish, so I'm gonna scream really loudly while filming everything that's happening.
Okay.
Classic Cassandra move. I've got
Screaming and shooting.
I got this freaking knife. I'm gonna use it. I'm gonna see if I can cut Bob's ankle loose because he's close enough that if I like run up, I don't have to be in the quicksand to do it. Right?
You're gonna be at the edge of the quicksand, but you can do it. You can get there, but know that you are on the edge of the quicksand.
Tricky. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna do it.
All right. First, you roll your damage.
I know you just told me, but
so it's -2.
-2
because you're the chef.
10. So -2, 8.
So you take a nice chunk out of the Kralborn and out of the vine. Bob, you get dropped. Make an action check for me +1.
Okay. It's at my stat again.
All right. So you manage to kind of fall the right way where the bottom of your legs kind of hit the edge of the quicksand, but you aren't in the quicksand. The creature's going to attack again, whips you with another thorn.
I haven't done anything yet.
Okay. Yep. Go for it.
Sorry. All I did was get cut free. I do want to. If I landed, I want to turn around. I want to try to lasso the plant. I've got the lasso still in my hand. I let the pig go. So I've got this lasso, and I want to try and get it around the head of the plant.
Is Bob saying any cool lasso things?
I mean, yeah, it's just a whole lot of it's just a whole lot of sort of unintelligible,
vaguely Western
cowboy-esque
vocalizations.
noises.
Yeehaws, gims.
Think of a cool line to say about this plant. Yeah.
Because of the past plot hole that you filled, I'm not even gonna give you a penalty. Roll a straight action check for me to do it.
Cool. Yeah, it's a 2 under 7.
So what do you do when you get the thing lassoed?
Okay, I've got it lassoed, and I think that my idea here is to run for a tree and try and create a pulley system with a tree to just be yanking it over onto its side. The idea is to sort of just pull it, trip it up and make it not be able to do it at once.
All right, you got it. You right off the bat, you hit the ground, you turn over, you grab the lasso, you whip it over the top of the Kralborn. Miraculously, you make it, and you just turn over on your stomach and your knees, dig your feet into the ground, and just start running.
I yelled, "The sushi needs a side of salad. Somebody start chopping."
There you go. You get it around you get it around a tree, but now you're holding that lasso in your hand, so you're gonna have to make a brawn check.
Yep, sure.
To be able to do it real quick for me right now. Do a brawn check +1.
Can we assist
+1
in this game?
Yep.
I can't remember.
You can assist.
I'll get a -1 because I've created a pulley and used physics to my advantage.
Simple
I'm gonna give it to
you.
Yeah, using the old noodle. Oh hell yeah, good either way. I rolled a 2.
All right. So now the plant's turn. The plant is now wrapped in the tree. It's unable to. It's gonna have to. All right, so I'm gonna have to make.
Yes, this is exactly what I wanted to happen. I'm just causing problems for the plan.
So it's gonna have to make a brawn check to break free of the rope.
A little inside baseball. So when you're the game runner and you're making it, like, does this creature have stats in the book, just for people who know? It
does.
Okay, cool. So like you've got is it the same as the player stat block?
Same as the player stat block. Some creatures
Cool.
like the Krellborn doesn't have any cool, has 0 cool,
Right.
has 0 charm. So the player stats minimum it can be a 2, maximum could be a 9. So there always has to be room for complete failure, complete success. But with something like a creature like this, it's okay for the creatures to have lower stats like that, because this is a freaking Audrey 2 trying to eat
It's
you.
not charismatic.
I will say Audrey 2
carnivorous
did have a high
alien
charisma
plant.
stat though.
Yeah,
I know. This is her like off-brand cousin now.
actually one of the biggest plot points.
Yeah. This is not the friendly cousin. I have a brawn of 9. I rolled a 10. So the rope holds.
Yeah.
Bob really not sure how he has managed to get anything done. It's just like holding a rope, just like, y'all, I don't know.
So
Shoot the plant.
What do you want to do? It's your turn.
Has it been pulled, like, so he's pulled it forward. So it's like it's rooted in the quicksand.
Rooted in the quicksand, but most of it is now out of the quicksand.
And so does it have like a thinner neck, for lack of a better, I guess, stalk or stem?
Is there like a glowing weak point that we can throw
I'm
things
just trying to
at?
think, like its head, its bloom has been pulled out entirely. I was off to the side, so ostensibly, could I just step forward and start like hacking with a switchblade,
yeah, I see
not
where
an
you're at.
effective
Yeah.
weapon, at where the base of its bloom connects to its stalk?
You can. You're gonna have to get in the quicksand though. You're gonna have to get a little deeper in the quicksand, because you're gonna have to get kind of a little bit behind it to do it. But you can do it. Dom fires off a shot at the thing.
You know,
Dom does a little bit of damage to it.
if it's in that position, what I want to do, how thick is the stalk of this thing?
If you really cut fast and make 2 attacks, you could potentially sever it.
Oh no, that's not my question. My question is, can I ride the stalk of this thing since it's in the quick? Like, I want to try to jump onto the stalk of this thing and start hacking.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, cool.
100%.
I love how feral Cassandra is.
Yeah, so I turn off my camera again. There's like almost this like visible shift as I stop screaming, and I start I'm gonna try to jump on it and hack at it.
I'm surprised you didn't just lean it up against the tree, let it keep filming.
It's like she goes into fugue state. I like it.
Yeah.
I like that she's
It's
like she stops being it's like she like morphs into action
It
woman.
is 100% when the camera is on, I'm screaming, and when the camera and commentating and the camera is off, like
It's like, all right, here we go.
we'll figure out the backstory on that later on, or not.
It's because of the new blood. It's because of the camera thing that she got fired for the like damsel in distress. She was too fucking tough, and they were like, "You're off-putting to viewers." It's 2007. We aren't fucking worried about our feelings yet as a culture.
I rolled a 2.
All right. I mean, you just roll another attack for me as well.
That was my action roll to land on it, right? So yeah.
Yeah, you got her. Yeah.
And then as far as do you want me to roll another? Is this a damage roll or is this a
Give me 2 damage rolls.
2 damage rolls? I'm hacking at it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not, my switchblade isn't doing a lot of damage.
Does it do any damage?
No.
Okay. So you get up there and you're like, hack, 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 hack. But you got your hand gripping it like it's like you're riding a Bronco.
Yeah.
You might go 8 seconds.
Right.
However, Tony, you went, right?
Yeah. I went.
You did. You broke out. You broke
Yes,
Bob
I
free.
did. Yeah.
Sandra went.
I have not done anything this turn. I don't think.
So you are still holding the rope.
Yeah. Okay.
That's all you're gonna really be
No,
able
that's
to
why I did the brawn check. Yeah. Okay. That makes
Yeah.
sense. I'm just holding the thing.
So Krellborn does break free this turn. Bob's going to take 1 luck point damage as the rope gets ripped through his hands.
Cool. Ow.
The Krellborn whips back. Make an action check +1, Cassandra.
I rolled a 3. I'm good.
It whips you back and it's trying to buck you. You manage to hold on for dear life, because if you didn't, you were going into the quicksand.
Yeah.
Tony.
Tony would like to say,
What?
Hey, we could all. Oh, sorry. Were you talking to real life, Tony?
No. The creature is gonna whip a vine at you.
Oh, okay. I thought that was telling me to go.
It wraps around your ankle, does 1 point of damage to you, and starts dragging you into its mouth.
Ooh, baby.
It goes in to take a bite, and I missed again. It chomps at you, but it just barely, because now Cassandra's kind of pulling back as it's trying to bite you.
This thing's got a lot going on.
Just barely missed
still
you.
got a rope around it too. Like it's still got like a lasso going through its jaws. So yeah.
So what does everyone want to do? It's your turn again. Dom pops off another shot, and he hits.
I'm just hacking at this thing's neck.
All right, roll your damage.
Woo! I did some. 3 and 2.
Okay, that's helpful. Bob, what's Bob doing?
Yeah, Bob's trying to make a slingshot of some sort, and I'm trying to think if I've got. I don't have anything like I don't have rubber anywhere to use.
How rubbery are these rubber plant vines?
Yeah, right.
Rubbery. They're rubbery.
Yeah, pretty rubbery. Are they rubbery enough for me to whip up a slingshot? I realize that I've got. I like grab one of them and like realize it's got some give. Sling it between 2 trees and grab a rock and try to launch a rock at the.
If you can swing from them and you can climb them, I sure as shit am I going to let you make a slingshot out of it.
Absolutely.
Let me see. Give me 1 second to think about this. What's Tony doing?
Oh my God. I was like, oh, that's me. I would like to cut myself free from being pulled into the mouth of a plant monster.
Break free from the plant.
You could easily do it because you got the knife. Are you gonna do anything else?
Say goodbye. Break free.
I don't really think there's anything that I can't. Literally at this point, the knife is like the most useful thing that I have, and I'm already using it for this. And I'd want to help Cassandra, but I think she's too deep in the quicksand.
Well, I mean, you're late. You can just slice from where you are at the creature.
Ooh.
Yeah, I mean, you can attack. Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, okay. I'll do that. Oh wait. Oh, okay. I don't know if I could do both of these things, because slicing would definitely be more effective. But if I could get a handful of let's say cumin, and throw it in the mouth.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, yeah. So I would like to slice, but I'd also like to go pocket cumin.
So you pocket cumin, the Krellborn, and it starts to hack and cough. Cassandra, make a action check for me +1.
That I just rolled a 1.
So it bucks even harder, but you dig your heels in and you grab even harder on it, and you kind of
like that lasso was on there. Can Cassandra be holding the rope that is around straight up 8 secondsing it?
She's full on. It's been 10 seconds. If the camera was on, you would be setting a record, but only you all know. But Cassandra, you got to pull back on it. Bob Lum, the slingshot is made. You got a big old rock. I'm gonna say this rock. How big is the rock? Talk to me about how big the rock.
I mean,
is.
I'm thinking. I look. It's got to be a rock that's there on the ground. I'm thinking grapefruit sized, right? I have pulled back, or baseball maybe.
Well, you probably find a grapefruit sized rock. I'm gonna give you -3 damage, but you have the bonus, so this is gonna be a straight D10 roll for damage.
For damage,
because improvised weapon, so no penalty.
Absolutely, sweet.
Does it help at all that the plant is coughing from the pocket cumin?
Oh yeah.
9.
what does Bob say when Bob lets loose this rock in this homemade slingshot?
Yeah, absolutely. So like it's also like he wanted to get like a really big, so he like rigged it up and then grabbed it, and basically he like sprinted backwards like away from, he's pulling the vine taut using his whole body momentum, and like then like does a spin mid-air and aims it, right? And then lets it go, and that's as he's letting it go. Yeah, he just screams, I don't know. He just screams, "It's time for dinner." He's confused.
The rock rips.
We've done that. We've done our. Let's finish this mirepoix. I don't know.
Yeah,
it's covered in cumin.
It rips and it smacks hard into the head of the Krellborn. The Krellborn goes limp, slaps onto the ground. Tony barely rolls out of the way while still clutching the cumin in their hand. And Cassandra, you just stand up. You're not in the quicksand. You're kind of standing there like one leg up on top of this thing, like National Lampoon style. What does Cassandra say?
Do what? Cassandra looks down at the thing and says, "Buck you."
Wow. So Dom sits there. And Dom pops. You hear Dom laughing. No, the entire trip, Dom has not said more than 3 words to any of you. But now he's like full on hearty laughing. And he looks, he's like, "You kids are all right. Let's go figure out where the idiot is."
Are you talking about the pig or the guy who hired us?
Oh my God. Just like, why do we even come down here? Yeah.
He kind of grunts. So as you guys are kind of headed out of the clearing, you hear Alexis start like yelling, "We gotta go! We gotta go now!" Hold on. Alexis, stop. Every time. You hear Eli screaming, you hear Alexis yelling, and you could see running up the path, there is now 15 Amphicore, and they are mad. You have a distance. You got a good distance. I mean, they are like back where the burning net was. But now there's no more net. There's nothing to stop them. They are running in your direction. The only other path to go is the western path.
Lava.
So I do actually have a question. Can we tell how wide the chasm is?
Yes. Have you ever seen the action movie with one Sylvester Stallone, Cliff Jumper?
Have I seen that it exists? Yes.
Okay.
Cliffhanger?
Cliffhanger. Yeah.
That's what I assumed.
Okay. I was like, all right.
Sorry, man.
Yes.
So,
I've seen the beginning of Ace Ventura 2. Does that count?
It totally counts. Sly couldn't make it. Neither could you.
Cool.
Oh, I wasn't thinking about jumping it. I'm just literally so what things we just discovered is that our handyman is incredibly good with a lasso, and that these plant vines can be used in a rope-like fashion.
It's definitely too far for that.
Okay, I'm 100% fine with that. We'll go the western path.
I mean, who wants to slingshot Bob into a chasm?
I mean, yes.
But we can take the western path for now.
But we gotta go somewhere too.
Yeah,
I can definitely figure out a roll for it if you want, but I mean, maybe try the pig first.
No, if they're headed, if they're
I'm not
headed down
sacrificing that pig.
Do we still have the pig? The pig ran off.
The pig ran away.
If
off in the woods.
The freaking pink herring ran off into the woods.
If they're headed into the western path, I think we'll follow them.
Yeah.
Stick with the group buddy system.
Though Cassandra does take a moment to pull out her camera as the Amphicore are slowly coming up the path
and start screaming again,
videotaping it while screaming and narrating. And
then, what was the megapixel of the iPhone 1?
I will look it up. It's bad. No one's going to believe any of this.
So the path is wider than the rest. It runs 20 feet by 100 feet, lined with thick jungle brush. Staggered every 20 feet on opposing sides are large numbers of rubber trees with liana spines hanging from them. Down the center of the path are 5 massive pools of hot white violet-covered liquid. The pools are of indeterminate depth and all have steam pouring off them, raising the ambient temperature around 15 degrees. You all feel a sudden nausea take hold. Everyone make a guts check for me.
Oh boy.
Just so everybody knows what we're working with. iPhone's screen was 320 by 480 resolution, LCD multi-touch screen, 163 PPI. It had the rear camera on the phone, which was the only one it had, was 2 megapixels, but it did feature geotagging. I'm just gonna go ahead and throw that out there.
Wow.
That's not terrible.
It's not like a flip phone or like a
No.
T-Mobile Sidekick.
No, I remember back when 2 megapixels was like, holy crap, you got a 2 megapixel camera. That time was around 2004 to 2008. Yeah. And so,
or just holy crap, you could take a picture on your phone.
Yeah, you know.
Oh, did everyone pass their guts checks?
Oh, not at all.
Okay. So
I did.
What you have going on here is you feel start to show symptoms of a headache, nausea, and skin reddening. So you could either take 1 guts penalty, and it'll be 1 ongoing guts penalty, or you could use your luck points and not take the guts penalty.
So guts penalties are a big deal, and I know we talked about them last time. Can you go ahead and explain what they do again?
Absolutely. So guts penalties, if you imagine luck points as things that make you bleed, guts penalties is your overall physical well-being. So like stubbing your toe, twisting your ankle, getting into a car wreck, falling down a flight of stairs, things that will hurt your overall body composition, even having a bad hangover is where the guts penalties will. So 3 guts penalties that are ongoing, and you could reduce them. There are ways to reduce them in the game, but if you get 3 ongoing guts penalties, all your stats will drop by 1.
Cool.
Thus making it harder for you to do the things you need to do. If you get 4 guts penalties, you die.
Okay. I'll spend the. I'm pretty luck intact at this point in time. I'm going to spend the luck.
Okay, so you can see slim paths running between the pools, and you get the vibe they're lava, but it's a lava unlike anything you've ever seen because it's white hot violet colored. So the paths run 3 feet wide along the jungle's edge and 2 feet wide in between the pools. So you have a couple options to traverse this area. You could carefully walk, and it'll take 4 action checks and 4 turns. You could run. It'll take 3 action checks at +1. Or you could swing from the vines with only 2 action checks at a +2.
Three of us doing math.
Is there any option
probability.
given some of the divisibility of those things? Is there any option to like combine them?
We're gonna run on the vines.
So
no,
you
like
could,
if I'm
this
walked
is in my
halfway
head.
across, can I swing the last little bit?
you can.
Okay.
Okay.
I want to make a bridge.
And I'm going to just hurry everybody across. That's my goal is to get everybody past there because I need to get that good action from behind the shot as if anybody's crossing.
So is Cassandra running or is Cassandra swinging?
Cassandra's waiting for everybody else to go and is pulling out her camera again to start narrating.
Encouraging everyone else to run.
Yeah.
All right. What is Bob?
I run.
doing?
I think that's that. I think Bob's a little like fried at the moment.
Make an action
Good.
check +1.
Yep.
I think Tony's actually gonna walk.
It's a 3. I think his situational awareness 3 under 7. So yeah.
You got it. And Tony's walking?
Yeah, so that's
No penalty.
Okay.
Tony leaned down and light a cigarette off of the lava.
Yes, absolutely.
It burns half the cigarette right off the bat.
Yeah.
But you still have a little bit left. You get a couple puffs.
All right. Successfully my first walk.
All right.
Very casual about this.
Sandra, what are you doing?
Waiting too long to start my actions while I videotape everybody else getting across.
Okay, so they made their first move. They're starting to go.
Yeah, once everybody is halfway and the Amphicore are a little bit too close, that's
Okay.
probably when I'll decide to swing.
All right, Bob, make another action check +1 for me.
7. 7
Cool.
out of 7.
Tony, make another action check for me. Straight action check.
Feel nice that I haven't had to charm anyone at all.
Okay. So, Bob, make one more action check for me +1. I'm sorry.
Yep, we're good. 5 under 7.
Bob is fully across. So you're in the clearing. You've caught up to Alexis, Eli, and Dom. So make another check for me, Tony.
That's a 9, so that's not going to do it.
So if you fail, you're going to kind of fall into one of the pools. And
that's probably very bad.
You're going to take damage and then a guts penalty.
So probably I just want to spend the luck.
You might want to.
Is what I'm thinking right now. So I'm going to do that.
All right. So Tony, they are they're like a hop, skip, and a jump from joining everyone else. At this point, 2 Amphicore's spears kind of come flying at you. You actually see them like through the screen, like as you're filming it.
It's such a good shot.
One hits you and does 2 luck points of damage.
Okay, that'll get reduced by 1. I'll mark it down though.
Yep.
I flashed down to it. Actually, here's so they were walking in between these pools, correct?
Right, running and walking.
So can I just take the spear that just hit the ground, like past me, like one of the ones that missed, pick it up, run, and then pole vault the last bit of the distance?
Her superpower is turning the camera off.
Look, I did not make this character. In retrospect, if I had, I would have 100% built my special ability around on-camera, off-camera.
Yeah, it's so funny.
Shifting abilities, which would have been fun and is great for the future. Is not what my character is written as, but I that's 100% how I'm playing them now.
Love it.
No, but that's the thing. That's the cool thing. The thing I love about 3-2-1 actions is that like anybody could be the hero.
Yeah,
and anybody, like, just because the character comes as written doesn't mean you have to play the character that way.
Yeah,
like it's just more of a suggestion.
Right.
You know?
Oh yeah, I just meant their mechanical special ability, which I like Cassandra's mechanical special ability, but like now that I'm in the mode of it, like this would have been my emergent narrative part is like this would have been a fun way to write an ability also. It might be something I do in the future. And so
yeah, totally.
But yeah, can I do a run check, a run check, and then a pole vault check?
So fun fact about the spear, they're made of petrified wood. So yeah, you can do it, right? But you got to grab it. You got to run a few feet back towards the Amphicore to get a running start and go.
Cool.
So
then what I'd love for it to look like is me running at them, looking like I'm charging them with the spear and kind of trying to intimidate them back a little bit before turning around and running the other direction.
Yeah, absolutely. So do you say anything when you do it, when you run?
I think it's like screaming and the spear is just swinging. I don't have a good quip right now for these things. I don't think she has enough context for what they are.
So
one-liners are hard on a Saturday afternoon.
Listen, I get it. I'm barely holding on my voice, but we're gonna get through this together, folks. So you go running, and and then and for a brief second, you think that you see fear in their eyes, like you think that you see like what appears to be like them being scared, and like. They kind of step back for a second, and you just start hauling. Give me an action check +1.
I make it. Exactly.
All right. Give me an action check +2.
I make it exactly.
Dang.
Cassandra, kind of terrifying, and I'm kind of in love with her.
Oh, so I'm going to give you an opportunity here, because this one's going to be a +3, or fill the plot hole in 2 sentences. Why do you think Cassandra can make this pole vault?
Okay, so here's the deal. Both her shooting skill and her pole vaulting ability she was an Olympic hopeful in her early years. And so she did both a mix of gymnastics and which one is it, biathlon or triathlon?
Yeah.
Biathlon were two of her sports.
My God, I love it. All right, just action check +1.
That's exactly. Dude.
So the Amphicore are behind
Stop
you.
it.
You make you hit the first corner, you pivot, you hit the next corner, you pivot, you jam the spear down and kind of leap forward, and like it's petrified, but it gives a little bit as you do this. Are you going to hold on to it, or are you going to drop it as you go flying?
I'm absolutely going to hold on to it.
Okay. As you do this, Dom like picks up his pistol to try to like take out some of the Amphicore, but Alexis just pushes his pistol down and says, "Save your bullets. She's got this." And there are spears flying behind you, and they land in lava pools, and you hear psh, 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 as they splash, and you come down at the very edge of the clearing, and you land, but you do that like, the
superhero land.
Superhero land.
I've got the spear sideways behind me.
Yeah, you whip your hair back, and the spear is like the very tip of it is in the edge of the lava, but you make it, like you stick the landing, and like Eli. It's like clapping because like this was the most amazing thing Eli's ever seen. But like now, the Amphicore are hot on your heels. You look around and you are in a 50 by 90 kidney shaped quarry. There's a 15 feet high walls all around you, unable to be scaled by natural means. The ground below you, there's a few lava pools here. There's natural debris and rocks everywhere. 4 massive pools of white hot violet-colored liquid. Same as the ones that lay on the path behind you, lie between you and the other side of the quarry. Now, mind you, there's a lot more space in between them here because this is a big area, but there's still 4 lava pools. To the north is a large rock formation covered in boulders of different sizes, and to its left, a ladder that leads out of the quarry. Like you just catch it in the corner of your eye, you're like, that's a ladder. That's a ladder going up somewhere. Eli says to Dom, when we get back, we're going to have a serious talk about your employment. You are my head of security. You can't be running off. And Dom replies, sorry, Chief, I had an itch. You know how these things go. Eli pushes his way and starts heading towards the ladder and starts to climb and says, an itch? I am worth $3.1 billion. I'm the mother of all itches. When he gets a few feet up, though, the ground starts to shake. Something bursts from the rock formation and rushes the ladder amazingly fast. Before it can get there, Dom raises his gun and fires off a shot. He's too late. The monster's claw wraps around his torso. Dom feels the pincers cutting into his flesh. He pulls the trigger 4 more times, but it's too late. The shots go wildly into the night sky. Dom's dying eyes meet Eli's for the last time and says, Eli, you were always an asshole. The creature emerges, and it's got 1 claw on its right hand, and its left hand is a molten steel, what appears to be hammer. And it finishes its squeeze and then discards Dom's limp body into one of the lava pits. You smell the stench of burning flesh as the claw hammer charges at you. Boss fight!
Oh,
and this is
the burning flesh, eh? Let's eat it.
This is what's...
I'm seeing dinner.
Yeah. So this is a giant crab monster.
I love giant crab monsters.
Yeah. It's got a thick exoskeleton, 1 pincer, and it's got one hammer hand. That looks like its old pincer was broken off, and then it just kind of got melted steel over it. So now it's a claw and a hammer. That's called a little on the nose, folks. The claw.
I like that, though.
Oh.
All right. So what does everyone want to do? Alexis is by the ladder, just taking attacks at this thing, trying to protect Eli, and try to she's got her hand on like Eli's butt, and she's trying to push him up the ladder as fast as she can. But he's just, being Eli. What does everyone want to do?
Such an asshole.
I mean, I get a great shot of this thing coming out as I'm like screaming at the top of my lung and like, oh, it's got a claw and a hammer. What would you ever call such a thing?
The claw hammer.
So yeah, like I don't know what everybody else is doing, but I'm videotaping while screaming and commentating.
Nice.
Really, all I can do is shank stuff. That's kind of my big move.
Yeah. And likewise, I'm looking at my lasso like, all right, we could add at it.
What if this is what I'm gonna say to Bob and be like,
we're just standing next to each other.
Yeah, we're just standing, like coming toward us, and we're like, all right, okay, here's the plan.
Cassandra's narrating, and we're like,
if you can lasso that guy down, I can stab him in the back.
All right, let's go. Yeah, so I think we're gonna set that up. I'm gonna try and add at him. So we're gonna try and like get a lasso down like under a foot, or does that make sense?
Absolutely. So it assumes a battle stance, and it's like it's eyeballing you, and click 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 go the pincers, and you see it kind of like waving its hand. It does like the equivalent of the Henry Cavill in Mission Impossible, where it cocks its arms before it goes into fight, and it's ready to dance. So it kind of like snaps its pincer at you, like,
I'm gonna light another cigarette.
Yeah,
this doesn't scare me.
I heft my very large wrench.
Okay.
I forgot about that.
So is one of you So how are you gonna try to get the lasso down in front of it?
Yeah, so I guess the idea is if it's like I want to like get it to. Can I give it like a come at me?
You can,
like,
yeah.
Come and get me. And the idea is going to be I'm going to try and get it to like rush me. And then what I want to do is like throw down lasso, tumble out of way.
Ooh.
Okay.
What if to make it so it can't see that the lasso is being put in front of it as it's rushing, I throw a little bit. You know where it's going. A little bit more pocket Cuban right in the eyes.
I'm surprised. I thought you would have like some into some Old Bay.
Yeah, some Old Bay or some just like straight up like red pepper right to the eyeballs.
You got to think about the herb puns you could be using right now.
I can't believe I didn't think of Old Bay.
Yeah, for the crab.
Yeah,
I'm
for the crab. For
I'm paying
attention.
attention.
It took me a second. I was like, why?
Me too.
Yeah, all right, let's go. We're gonna go with some Old Bay in the eyes.
So Bob, make an action check +1 for me.
Yup. Yeah, it's a 2. Bob's an action man.
All right. So you do the come at me, bro. Now listen, this is a creature of the sea. It's a half, like half crab, half crustacean, half humanoid hybrid. But yet, come at me, bro, is kind of a universal language, kind of understood and respected by all, animal and human alike. So you do kind of like pat with the thing, come at me, bro, and it starts charging at you. As it gets there, it kind of reaches forward to try to get you with the claw, and you duck and tumble and drop that. You drop the noose down.
Yeah.
The lasso, and then Tony pops up. Surprise! Poof. It kind of like recoils back.
I say, get seasoned.
And you're able to kind of to tug it back. You can't get around it on this turn, but you can, like, on your next turn, kind of try to add at it. It does. It's kind of like waving around, and it kind of swings wildly. So Tony's the only person that's near it. It swings back around and tries to get you with its gut cracker sweep, which is its claw attack. And it snips you. It snips you for 1, but it gets you in its claw. And then it swings around for its hammer attack, which is called Stop Hammer Time. And while it's got you in its claw, it's
classic 2007 reference.
Yeah, It smacks you. It smacks you with the hammer, and it does 2 luck points of damage to you.
Okay, so was that a total of 3?
Total of 3.
Okay.
But
man.
but you are now you're kind of grappled in its claw, and
Right.
on your turn, you're gonna have to make a brawn check to break free, or things are gonna get worse for you. So what does everyone want to do? It's your turn.
I would like to not be in a crab claw, preferably.
So make a brawn check +1 to break free.
Can I get anything additional from more spice throwing and or using my knife?
Make straight. If you throw more spice, you can make a straight brawn check.
All right. Yeah, I'm gonna throw more spice. Maybe I'll even throw. No, I'll do that later. I'm just gonna throw more spice.
Okay. Make a brawn check.
Yeah, I'll spend some luck. I am being not thrifty at all with this luck. I am going to die.
One shot thinking, baby.
All right.
But
How much spend?
what?
How much luck did you spend?
2. I wasn't too far off.
You chose wisely. But
I figured.
it makes a sound and it opens its claw. You kind of drop down to the ground. So, Bob,
Yeah.
make an action +2.
Okay. 5 under 7.
You kind of like tumble and roll, and you manage to get it around the claw hammer again. But you're gonna need to go around one more time before you can
Like fully add at it.
add at it. What's Cassandra doing?
She is screaming and narrating, but also moving into position. Like, I want to try to put it, like, kind of sensing what's happening. I want to try to put it between me and a lava pit as I'm
Yeah, there you
changing.
go. All right. We're all
It looks like
out.
I'm going for a low angle, right? Like you can,
Yep.
so I can get the bubbling and the popping of the lava, like with this fight happening in the background. None of which cleanly comes across in a 2 megapixel shot. But
No,
I'm
of
like,
course not.
that's what I'm going for.
But you're now kind of in melee with it, sort of.
Or
how far away are you?
I wasn't anticipating being that close to it.
Okay, no, that's fine.
I think I'm probably in. It could move towards me and hit me though easily.
Okay. Neat. And so it's gonna attack again. It comes back at you for a claw, Tony.
Still with me.
Yeah. I mean, you're the one that's directly in front of it.
I am seasoning it quite a bit.
It does 1 luck point of damage to you with the claw. You're grabbed again. It's gonna whack you with the hammer. Ooh. It hits you for 6 damage with the hammer while it's got you in the claw. So you're gonna take a total of 7 damage there.
One might say that you've made it salty.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't think Tony's long for this world, y'all.
Make a brawn check +1 for me.
Yeah, we're all very weak and have no healing capability whatsoever.
Yeah.
No battlefield medicine.
There's other characters. It's fine.
A cook and a janitor.
That's gonna be an 11.
So you could either give up luck or you're going to take a guts penalty ongoing.
I think I'm gonna have to take the guts penalty because I have very little luck left.
Okay,
boy.
so you are in the clutches of the creature. What are you? You're gonna have to make another brawn check to try to break free. Now brawn check +1.
All right.
If you're seasoning, just make it a straight brawn check.
Yeah, I'm gonna season.
Go down seasoning.
Yeah. All right, I made it.
So you managed to wiggle free one last time, and now you're on the ground. Alex, give me a action check. Just give me a straight action check. Bob, sorry.
Yo, no, it's okay. It's like, and then Alexis is like an NPC. It's nonsense. Yes, 3 under 7.
So you roll one last time, and you kind of tuck and roll in front of the claw hammer again. The claw hammer doesn't see you though. You kind of like look over you kind of look over in the distance as you start to pull, and you could see Alexis at the top of the ladder on the ground, and she's like yelling and pointing. And Tony, you look over your shoulder and you could see a bunch of Amphicore charging in your way. Is Cassandra going to do anything, or is Cassandra going to stay where Cassandra is filming this?
Oh, well, I was going to stop filming this round anyways and do something. So, I mean, so the Amphicore have essentially made it across the heat, the bridge that we came across. Yeah, I actually thought about staying there and holding them off before I did all this nonsense, but I was like, we'll deal with that in the future.
Okay.
Man, do I think the Amphicore and this thing get along? That's the real question. I think we're gonna have to deal with the Amphicore in a second. Let's catch me up on the fictional positioning right now. So we got Tony is in the claw.
Tony's out of the claw. Tony's like laying on Tony's butt.
Okay.
Having just been dropped. Bob is ready to pull and take the thing out with the lasso. And you are on the other side of a lava pit, in the distance away from him. And the Amphicore will be in combat next turn.
And so he's got it taut. He's about to take it out.
Yep.
But Bob's already you've used your action this turn, right?
That was it. I think I got around again.
Okay.
No. Your action's about to be to pull it.
Yeah. I'm about to like trip it, and I think I'm gonna try and the idea is to like pull it.
Gotcha.
Trip it into
okay, so it looks like what I was planning on is already happening. So yeah, as they come up, I'm gonna pull that gun I've been hiding behind me for the last 30 minutes out and shoot at these Amphicore. Like I put away the camera, all of a sudden like a glazed look comes over my eyes and I start just firing this handgun into this group.
All right, so 6 Amphicore get to the edge of the clearing. You pull out the gun, make 3 attack rounds for me. 3 attack shots. Cassandra.
Cool.
I love it. Well, it's like a close up, like right here, like in one of these boxes, and she just looks down and then like looks back up.
7-5-4.
Yeah,
so you clip 2 of them, and they drop right away. But the other ones are going to be into the clearing next turn, and you can see more coming up from behind them. At that moment, though, Bob, yoink, and the claw hammer tilts forward and goes face first in one of the lava pits. It's up to its like lower back.
Anybody got any drawn butter?
I was gonna say no. That's what I call bacon crab cakes.
Sorry.
It's okay. We both say our one-liners at the same time,
and then like look at each other and like,
"Come on."
Oh yeah, that's good. That's nice. Yeah, we get it.
Yeah, that was pretty
you
good.
guys hear that? Hey, did you get that on camera? We were hilarious.
Yeah.
Oh shit, fish monsters.
Are you guys gonna run for the ladder? What are you gonna do?
Yeah, I'm on for the ladder.
Yeah, I think the ladder probably. I think I'm gonna like stay behind Tony. God, my brain.
So Tony, you get up the ladder first, and in the distance you see a large tent with an upside down Russian flag waving above it and a low fence surrounding it. Walking towards you, bathed in moonlight, is a large man with a shaved head and a long gray beard. He's decked out in military fatigues, and in his hand is an M4 rifle. You hear lots of gurgling sounds as the Amphicore pour into the quarry. The man pulls back the firing pin on the M4 and quips, "I guess you found the place all right," and then starts laying down suppressive fire into the pit while screaming, "Die, Amphicore, die!" This is Yuri.
Yay.
And that's the end of episode 1.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Woo!
Woo! Oh man. I'll keep
All
playing.
Right. It's like, what's gonna happen? All right, let's do our reaction roll. Or is everybody good? Does everybody want to take a 5-minute break before we do that?
I would love a 5-minute break.
Let's do a 5-minute break.
Yeah,
We're gonna take a 5-minute break. We're gonna come back. We're gonna do our reaction roll. So we're gonna talk about our experience playing 3-2-1 action RPG, specifically PointNemo, the adventure we just went through. But we'll be able to compare and contrast with the original adventure we played, also, which I have some absolutely phenomenal thoughts about comparing the two, and I have a bunch of questions I want to ask John. If you want to to ask any questions, type them into the chat wherever you happen to be watching. We'll talk about them just 1 second, and we will be right back to talk about PointNemo.
Awesome.
Put on my Coach Beard glasses.
I love it.
First thing everyone heard. And we are back here live on Plus One EXP's Roll for Content channel for our reaction roll. Reaction roll is a live stream within a live stream. It's our chance to sit down with the creator of a game that we just played, talk to them about our experience playing that game. Today, we are playing a 3-2-1 action RPG. RPG series. And everybody else can hear me, but my friends can't, and so I'm turning that back on so that y'all can hear me also, in addition to our audience. For whatever reason, Google likes to turn that off sometimes. And we are talking.
You're muted for us again.
Did it again.
Find you online. Tell us who you are, what you do, where they can find you online, but also tell us a little bit about PointNemo and the 3-2-1 action RPG system.
Very cool. So the 3-2-1 action RPG is a cinematic storytelling rule set. It is made for telling any kind of story that you want. You want to tell a ghost story, you want to tell a heist, you want to tell a weird Western, outer space, whatever you want to do, you can use the rule set. It keeps it really simple by only using one dice. It's a D10. So you just tell the game runner what you want to do, and you'll make it so in just one roll. You may have a penalty or a bonus, but it really is a great gateway for people who want to get into RPGs and don't really want to have to worry about too many rules or what they need to know or what they need to be a master of. They can just get in and play right away. So PointNemo is our second adventure. Our first adventure did take place on the island 2 years previous to this. This is you are a member of a documentary film crew financed by a crazy billionaire to go and shoot an underwater spaceship graveyard, and you find something much worse instead.
Awesome. And this is the same crew we had on both of them, so I'm super excited to hear people's thoughts. I've got some thoughts based on that. If you're watching now, or if you're watching later online and you have questions, drop them in the chat wherever you happen to be watching, and we'll bring them up on a stream or get John's attention and get an answer for you if it's after the fact. With that said, let's start with one of my 26 favorite Alex Murrays, our Alex Murray. Alex, tell people who you are, what you do, where they can find you online, but also tell us what it was like to play PointNemo.
Yeah, what's up? I'm Alex. I am a Brooklyn-based actor, comedian, podcaster, jack of many nonsenses. You can find me all over the internet at @ralexmurray. I follow me on TikTok. I need an excuse to make more weird TikToks. It's hard to keep up. God, it's fun. It's a weird app.
Following you on TikTok.
Good times.
Make that happen. Right
yeah, get on there. I'm writing weird music things.
We're
weird.
mutuals.
Yeah, absolutely. But like, man, Alex, you just go. I'm like, I cannot keep up.
You know what?
I'm much more of the elder millennial. Let me spend 4 days to make a minute-long video like an idiot. But I man, it's fun. Yeah, and listen to the Child's Play podcast, where I also write weird music, and I listen to the entire discography of Kids Bop. We are on 32, and
wow,
man, it's just a whole lot of Kids Bop that I've listened to.
How many Kid Bops are there?
They stopped numbering them at 40, and now they're just releasing them as like they're doing re-releases. We listened to the 20th anniversary of Kids Bop 1 not long ago.
wow.
You want to hear some kids cover Mark Antony now with no context of what it is, and then have them try to de-sexify a Mark Antony song from 20 years ago? It's a wild ride. We have a good time, and we present fixed versions of the Kids Bop songs, which
so
is
the perfect person to talk about tabletop role-playing games.
Absolutely, really is why you've got me here. Absolutely, my expertise. But you know what? I have played many role-playing games. This one I love, man. I love this system. Man. I love that. Like, I really love the 1d10 so easy. It was really funny before we got on the stream. Both Alex and I were like, "Hey, how do we play this again?" You were like, "D10, roll under your stat." It's like, "Oh yeah, right. Okay, sweet, cool, let's go." And I'm like, that's it. I love that you can just jump in and go. I also, if it seems like. Can I ask you, when you're like, when it's the 6 stats that player characters have, is it just like a set number? I'm trying to do math and talk at the same time. Is it? I'm looking at like, I have a total point. Bob has 17, 24, 28, 34. Like, is it pretty standard across the board? Everybody has 34 like points.
Not necessarily. I generally try to when I design these playable characters for everyone, I try to do it like I think about what their role is and what they do, and I try to build the stats around the role. In 3-2-1 action, a playable character can only have has to have a minimum of 2 or a maximum of 9 for their stat.
Right.
And and I just kind of base it off of that. It just I don't base things off of anything but like what is your role? Like what do you do?
Cool. I just think it just seems like I was thinking about like just homebrewing your own game using this system, and it feels like it would take almost nothing. Like you could just make up 6 characters that were in your, like you were saying, space western or whatever, and just like go. I also really I paid a lot of attention to the 4 inventory slots. Like I was like really appreciating for this play how much that does with the like, especially like with the picking up and using something and then just throwing it over your shoulder. It's like you can only have 4 things on you at once is neat. It's like the inventory economy is cool. But yeah, man, I mean, I had a blast. It's just a fun, easy game. It's finding ways to say yes is the best in role-playing games, I think.
Yeah. That's my goal, man. Like I want to say yes. And that's why, the game runner is not a master. I'm on the same team as you are. And I want you to succeed because I want you to enjoy the story. The 4 inventory thing was like, I would watch people always playing Dungeons and Dragons, especially. You have all this, especially if you're not playing Encumbrance, like you have all this stuff.
Just forget about this crap. Yeah.
Yeah. And then you're in the middle of a situation. And for some reason, as a Dungeon Master, you remember, oh man, this person has this thing. And this is going to be awesome. And they never use it because they forgot.
No.
It's lost.
Yeah. And then also just like you've got 4, you also like I ended up with that rope, right? I had that lasso for half of the damn game, and I just like had it. And then that and the like you can't fill the plot hole in 2 sentences like mechanic is just such a good like I don't know. I've been playing a lot of I had 2 pretty long D&D campaigns break up over quarantine, and it was about rules and crunchiness and weirdness and people like not having the game go the way they wanted. And then all everything that this game does eliminates all of that. It's just like, what do you want to do? Okay, can roll. You got a 1 in 10 chance or whatever. Yeah.
Awesome. I actually think on the first stream, I don't know if we all did, but at least 2 of us rolled up characters, because you can build points, but there is a roll system also too, if you want to just like roll a bunch of D10s and be like, those are your ability scores. And
I think I did. Yeah.
I think we all did
for the first one. Yeah.
And so, it was really interesting. But yeah, it's super. I mean, again, pre-generating a character and just thinking about their role and building it out around that, I think is great. But also the ability to just be like, I'm going to roll it and, go with whatever I get. Could be horrible and could be one.
It's a bunch of 2s. You're just an absolute red shirt just running around. Just like, I don't know.
So that's awesome. Alex Kingsley, tell people who you are, what you do, where they can find you online.
Yeah. Who am I? What am I doing here? I'm Alex Kingsley. I am a writer, comedian, podcaster, game designer. I didn't say that in the beginning. I work with a company called Strong Branch Productions, and we make a sci-fi comedy called The Stench of Adventure, Season 2, casting now. And I'm Alex Quest, most places on the internet, TikTok, Twitter, what have you. Yeah, I had so much fun playing this game. I had so much fun playing the first episode. What would you call it? First installment?
A prelude.
The prelude.
Yeah.
I had so much fun playing the prelude as well. In fact, I brought up this game recently. I don't remember what who I was talking to or why, but I was talking to someone. One of the very first things when I was first getting involved in game design on the whole was learning that the mechanics of a game have to serve the overall idea. And I don't remember why I was talking to someone about that, but I used this game as an example. And I was like, I just played this game that was really cool because the whole idea of it is that you're crafting the plot of a movie together, and it has all of these mechanical things like the ability to choose when to spend your luck and the ability to fill a plot hole in 2 seconds to that serve this agency over the story that you want to tell and encourages creativity and saying yes and all of that and everything that's already been said. And I think I said the same thing actually the first time. It was so cool to chance played a role. It wasn't we just get to decide everything and we're completely invulnerable to anything. Like, I definitely, if we had gone on any longer, would have died.
Oh yeah.
How close were you?
I had 3 lugs
Yes,
left.
you're one good pop, one angry spear,
and that was it. 1 bad gloop. But there still was such a sense of like, I get to do what I want and craft this narrative, which something D&D is like the only game that I play like regularly every week. And that's something that I like always run up against is like, I want to have more control over the story that we are telling. And I felt like we were all working together to craft a really delightful story. And the rules of the game serve that as opposed to hindering that, which I think some games, D&D, it hinders.
I mean, this is a storytelling game, which is
Yeah.
like, at its core, as opposed to a video gamey thing.
Yeah.
I know I played it with Tony, but if you either John or Alex, are you familiar at all with Back from the Broken Lands? Is that what it's called?
Back
Tony?
Again from the Broken Land.
Back
Alexi
Again from the
Sargent's-
Broken Lands. I played
No.
on +1, and it's cool. It's like you're like coming home from the main story and then telling the story as through
Oh,
mechanics.
that's so
I don't know.
cool.
It's
Who-
very, very cool. I think
who's-
y'all would both
who-
like it a lot.
I'll drop the link
Sorry.
here to the description. It's actually not out yet. It is
Oh,
Alexi
my bad.
Sargent's. It's
Then
Alexi Sargent. No,
get
it's fine.
pumped about it.
It's Alexi Sargent's Cloven Pine Games. It was their last Zine Quest project, so it'll come out sometime next year. But I'll get y'all a
Very
link
cool.
to that after the fact. But yeah, no, I think there's a lot of comparisons between those two because of some of the narrative qualities and the ability to insert things that I absolutely love. And the whole like team brewing concept of this feels like a conversation we're all having versus one person saying whatever. And actually, John, like I think you do a really phenomenal job as a game runner / keeper of secrets of basically having very clear options, but then also being able to be like, yeah, you don't have to do any of those things. Like when you were like, you can do this, or this, but then I was like, I'm going to do something, but I'm going to wait until I absolutely have to do it. And then it was like, I'm going to do something entirely different. Is that cool? You're like, yes, 100%. Those were just kind of the 3 initially planned options within that, which I'd love to know, is that like, do you have GM advice built in, or is that just like a John McGuire original?
So we do. We actually have things called GR notes peppered throughout the game. We put a lot of prompts in there because one of the things that is important to me, important to Gio too. So George Colazzo, Gio Colazzo, is my co-creator and co-writer, best friend in the entire world. We do this together, and we want it so people can play it. We want it so if you want to run a game for the first time, it takes a lot of guts. Like running a game in any kind of RPG, it always feels like a lot more work. So we didn't want to make it a lot of work. So we give you some prompts so you can be like, well, you can do these 4 or 5 things on the beach. So this is a known thing that can happen and gives you kind of threads to pull. But if you don't want to do that, that's fine too, because, we'll figure it out. But there are GR notes to give like specific like thoughts on like, hey, this is happening because of this. So just be mindful of this. So kind of where to go forward or where to go or if this is going to happen down the line, you might need to remember this. But it's really like 2-3 sentences explaining like more behind the scenes stuff for the game runner.
Awesome. Yeah. Alex, I think we kind of pulled off on the end of yours here. Did you have any questions specifically that you wanted to ask John?
Oh, yes. Wait, me, Alex?
Yes.
I've got another one now too. But
okay, just making
yeah.
sure. So I was really curious, since we did a lot of like fun and funky things that were a lot of fun, and I know you've run this game multiple times, I was curious about some other people's choices. So I was wondering, like, how did people go across the chasm to the tent, and how did they do it?
Yes, my buddy Lou did it once. So, and he did it once to the point where like I realized I had to describe it better in the game. So the vines, I grew up playing like Pitfall. I love the idea of Pitfall. I love the idea of, like swinging from vines, doing that stuff. So I wrote and I researched like the kind of vines in the jungle and all that stuff. So the vines are peppered throughout like parts of the game. So he went and he got a bunch of vines and he tied it to the edge of the thing, tied it to himself, kind of like John McClane style. He's like, I'm going to try to jump it. And I was like, it's far. And he was like, well, no, he's like, it'll be like, the Stallone movie. And he goes, and he runs and he makes the check, but like, it's too far. Like, it is so far that he kind of went and he fell off the side and slapped into the side of the chasm on his side, took some damage, and then like barely was able to climb back up before like the bind would have snapped. So yeah, I've definitely had people do it. First time ever anyone's done that meat thermometer trick though. And I love that.
Because the chasm is really designed narratively to push you into some of those alternate routes. You're not supposed to be able to necessarily.
Oh, you're not supposed to be.
Yeah.
I was like, is there anything waiting in the tent that like you're supposed to be able to get?
Well, the quicks, it just kind of let you know it's there and to kind of build momentum in the story. To kind of be like, oh, because you're just discovering this island and now you found a U.S. soldier who's dead next to a volleyball net. And then you found a thing that says, oh, there are other camps around here and a tent across the way where you hear the wind of change being whistled. So it kind of like, I try to like run the game and try to encourage people to run the game where you keep the players on the edge of a knife at all times to keep the momentum going. So yeah, the right path, the right-hand path was going to take you to the quicksand, and that's just, it's a trap, but it's a combat trap. And then the left path is the way to go out. I've definitely had players who are like, we're just going up the left path, and the heck with Dom and and whatever's happened over there, we're going up the left path.
Did anyone catch the pig?
No one's caught the pig yet.
I wanted to catch that pig.
Yeah.
If I could play this game, if I could go back and do it again, I would search for. I would say, forget about the Amphicore. I'm searching.
What do you guys want to do?
I'm taking the volleyball net. I'm throwing it over the pig first thing.
Yeah.
The other thing I was curious about people doing was, now I can't remember. Okay. Other genre, Alex. Ask your question while I try to remember what mine was.
Well, that's kind of a good hot piggyback off of our last comment. Now I can say a cute thing, not when I'm launching rocks through the air. Have you ever played this in a more of a sandboxy setting, like like as opposed to like this is pretty like you've got a path and it splits and there's places, but like have you ever tried to do it where like the island is just a big island and like the jungle spaces are accounted for? And
so we've added some other destinations.
Okay.
Yes and no. We've added other destinations as part of the whole book for the Kickstarter, which there's two full side quests, and then like a destination that you could plop anywhere on the island. So it opens it up more to, if you wanted to run all around the island, you can do that. But for these really, and these are like the first RPGs I've ever written or been a part of writing. So for me, it was creating the system and learning how to write it in a way that other people could run it. So, and getting to a point where like we're in the process of writing 3-2-1 horror right now. So that is going to be more open world. Where you are is more open world. Now there are several triggers that you can set off, which will take you to the end game, but you can run all around and I don't want to reveal the location yet, but you could run all around the location and do what you want, but ultimately there is an end point. But it's going to be 3-2-1 horror is going to definitely be more open world. I also started writing a 3-2-1 horror zombie adventure where within the rules, and that's the thing too, what we do with the 3-2-1 action rule set is it's all the same rules, but each game will have a specific like couple extra rules that are specific to the adventure, like what happens when you get bit, but it's all based off the D10. If you have your character dies, for instance, you're going to roll 3d10, one for each chart, which shows you the next kind of person you're going to come across in the zombie one. So like it all has to be built off of the main rules and then just a couple rules here or there for those special games. So we're getting towards that point where it's going to be open world for 3-2-1 horror for the main game. But I also like to keep writing like little one shots where it's kind of slightly on the rails, so you can just kind of get through it and have fun with it. But yeah, we're doing the best of both worlds.
Well, it's a movie too. Like I understand that. Like you can't, like you said, on the razor's edge. It would be not exciting if it was like, all right, what do you want to do? And we're like, we would like to try and circumnavigate the island, please. Like on the beach. I mean,
Defenders of Cobalt ran it once, but they were like, you know what? We're gonna put it to the test. we're going to write a slasher game. And it was an open world slasher game that they did for one night. It was on a Friday the 13th and worked great. It worked great because they were just like, yep, these are the rules. We're just going to go for it. And it was the slashers trying to kill the campers.
Love it.
Nice.
Yeah. I had a blast. I'll have some more polished thoughts later on this week in a TLDP video, but I love the system. I love that we got to go back to it. One of the first things I felt like I noticed, and I'm curious if it was intentional, accidental, or if it's specific to the difference in settings. We had a lot more +1s in this adventure than I feel like we had in the first one. Is there a reason for that?
Well, in this one, you are all just regular people who are in it. Like the last one, you were a commando strike force.
Yeah.
So you were military trained. So a lot of stuff was going to be easier to do. And there are, depending on how you run and where you end up in Rocket to Russia, there are a lot of things that do have heavier challenges. But this one was partly because you're just, average folk doing the thing, but also partly because you all came up with some really wild ideas on the fly, and it was things that were going to be like a little harder to do.
Yeah.
Like, making the slingshot and, things like that. But I mean, that's to me the fun of the system, is because I want to keep saying yes, but you have to roll for it. And sometimes I got to give you a little more of a tougher roll, because it makes the reward so much better.
No, that was 100% my assumption, was the feel of normal people, but I just didn't want to be like, because of this, and then you'd be like, not at all. I just didn't. It just was, was whatever this time. But I love that. I love that simple ability to be like, yeah, you're doing something outside of your scope of view. You're not trained in these areas. The stat blocks were a little bit lower on this one. Also, there was a really great feel. I guess more median actually would be a better way to get it. It was very much the feel of average people in an action movie, where luck was going to come into play a whole lot more.
Yeah.
Like last time I took a lot more damage to my luck. This time I took very little damage, but used a whole lot more of it to make rolls happen. And I love that flexibility, that feel even just between the two adventures, that I just thought was so fun. And then like I mentioned it earlier, but I want to mention it now also. Like I love reading through the abilities. Like even before you had gotten us the characters, I was already thinking like, if I roll up a character, what if I was thinking about members of a documentary film crew and a ship crew, what are abilities I might give them? So it was really cool to see kind of ones that you came up with, tossed in, but also like I said, in play, even being like, man, it would be fun to have a character that was like, when I'm on screen, I get this bonus, and when I'm off screen, I get this bonus, and being able to flip back and forth between those two things as two minor bonuses would have been a really cool. But the fact that it's just like, hey, we're gonna have a conversation about what that looks like, get the GM to approve it, and now it's an ability, again, makes character creation super simple and lets you craft a very specific type of character that you want to play. And it's one of the real strengths of the system, as well as giving a lot of flavor to the individual pre-generated PCs that you popped out for us. So like I said, I'm absolutely thrilled. And this one, there were like a whole lot more maps. There was, like I said, a very directed thing, but it feels like you're doing a really intentional job of building these to add in complexity as you go from one to the next, not just genre shifting rules, but actually teaching people how to run the game and how to play the game as they're playing through the different modules. And I absolutely love that.
Thanks, man.
One of the things I miss, and I don't know if you have one, but last time, because we had gone through the whole Rocket to Russia adventure, we got a cool little sign off with some sort of sideways thing in the thing. Are there some of those beats worked into the episodes for this, or is it only when you get to that adventure, that you get like a weird radio broadcast that cuts in and across?
I can't really tell you. You got to play through it. You got to play through it to find out. I will tell you, everything that we write exists in the same world.
Yeah.
So that was important to us. DJ Plague Doctor is gonna be somewhere featured, and DJ Plague Doctor is I Wish I Didn't Know. So that was the podcast that led you here. There's gonna be an epilogue. We just had to tweak a couple other things. We're gonna see how it just ties up once it gets back from the editor. Gonna add some epilogue stuff. Because we wrapped up, we didn't do the end of the episode wrap up where you would have gotten luck points back you would have gotten bonus luck points for best comedy, best action sequence. I mean, between the three of you, it was a foot race. I just was going to award you guys all a bunch of extra luck points because you all made it so much fun and really like exceeded expectation with what you could do with these characters.
No, I love it. It is a game that where like I immediately want to, even without that being the mechanical reality, be like, stop, pause, let's talk about how great Alex's like rodeo references were, and other Alex's like seasonings. Yeah, like all those moments that you want to just stop and pause and reflect on. And I love that that's actually the progression and healing mechanics are baked into those conversations.
Yes, let's storyboard it out for a minute. Like, yeah, because it's a movie. Like, what did that look like? And then even everybody's on that kind of fun.
And that's my goal. I want everyone to have the opportunity to be the hero, but I want everyone to also be the hero the way that they want to be the hero, where it doesn't necessarily mean shooting something or kicking something. It's throwing cumin in a monster's like giant mouth, or like peppering, like, you know, seasoning like a crab creature's eyes. Like, to me, it's so much more rewarding to have the players leave the table and have a cool story to tell when they're thinking about what they just did. Like, it wasn't just, well, I killed it because I was the last person in the order to hit it with a sword. Just like, no, I blasted it with seasoning while my buddy like tied its shoelaces together. Like, that's awesome.
Yep.
Right now, y'all are in the middle of funding over on Kickstarter. You are currently sitting a little underneath $4,000, about 2/3 of the way towards your goal. Tell us a little bit about what we can expect in this Kickstarter project from y'all.
So I'm pretty stoked about it. You know, we initially started writing these things, and we did zine quests, and we're hoping to like write a short zine, but apparently that is not in the cards for us because Rocket to Russia was over 100 pages. This one, without most of the art, is already over 100 pages in it. So it's going to be a 100-plus page book that we're doing soft covers and hard covers for. It'll have the main adventure with NPCs, playable characters, all the monsters, everything you need to tell the story, plus 2 side quests, plus an additional destination that you could plant anywhere on the island that adds a little more chaos to it. And one of the things that we're doing, like before we even hit, you know, stretch goals, one of the things that we're doing for everyone who's backed either Rocket to Russia or Rocket to Russia and PointNemo or just PointNemo, we're going to send out a postcard during the holiday season with a URL in the back, so you get a free adventure from us. It's Kevin Saves Christmas. Kevin the Amphicore, who is our unofficial mascot, has to bring history's greatest heroes, in air quotes, through space and time to help him fight Krampus. So we did a holiday adventure as a thank you to everyone who's backed us in our first year. Because of the way the U.S. Postal Service is, you might just get the link in your Kickstarter updates, and then the postcard's going to get there eventually. But, you know, we want to do something extra for the backers. And we've got some cool reward tiers as well, where you could spend a little extra than you would spend for just a hardcover book and have your name attached to one of the dead bodies in the game. So where we found Beauregard, your last name would be attached to that. You can get a character that's featured in a scene prominently, middle of the game. There's even one left where you could actually have speaking lines in the game with your name attached to that character. So it's pretty cool.
Love it. I'm super excited about it. I love what you're doing. I love watching the project grow and can't wait to see more. I would encourage people, go check it out. Again, the link's right down below us as well as in the description of the video, ttrpg.link/PNGame. Please check it out. Again, we'll have some more completed thoughts later on this week. I'm trying to think of what we have coming up next. We got a couple interviews this week. On the 9th, we've got a horror panel featuring an absolute Slayer's crew of phenomenal horror writers that's going to be in the middle of the day because it's people from all across the globe, and so that's when makes the most sense. So at noon on the 9th, and then next week, and we'll have some more games coming up live. If you have not yet, hit follow or subscribe wherever you're watching to get notified when we go live. But we don't have a good way to close out these streams. So until next time, we're just going to wave at the camera until I take us off air. Talk to y'all later.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.